Is that a live? Was that your
It's
live?
the Baron Zemo. Like,
You look like you're gonna count down. Okay, give me the thumbs up when we're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to After 9. I am the thank God it's Halloween. One more sleep. But when you listen to this, it'll already be the day. Travis Snell. And I'm joined by the man with that was gonna talk.
I am Kirklin Patzer. The just Kirklin Patzer. Double damn Kirklin Patzer.
Just Kurt Patson
Double
finally.
damn. I am the yawnster Taylor Field.
The yawnster. Don't. I'm happy you're
Little
married because
ASMR for you.
I'm happy. ASMR. I'm happy you're married because the yawnster would not have been a name that would have worked for you back in the day. I don't think.
Hey,
That's how I
ladies.
got her.
Call me Yonster.
Yeah, you sound like what's his name in American Pie when he's like the Terminator, the Shermanator or whatever.
Shermanator.
Yeah. Taylor Field, how you doing this weekend? You're killing time because I'm about to invite the patrons, but you're killing time. How you doing this week? And obviously got Halloween coming up tomorrow when you're listening to this, and then just how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. Again, I'm sure we'll talk more about it. Mario Party. Watched the new Paranormal last night. I'm going to drop probably a review for that tomorrow on Halloween.
There you go.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that.
So can I ask before, like, and obviously you'll have your review, but I don't want a full review. Is this a movie that you could watch it just by itself, or do you think you need to watch them all?
No, that was something I read in some of I think it was the director's comments about how, I mean, we're well over a decade since the first Paranormal Activity came out, so they don't necessarily want to keep focusing on that where a new generation comes in, isn't able to really go back or doesn't care to go back and watch 7 films just to watch this one. So this one is more or less like a soft reboot. So it has all
Okay.
those elements of Paranormal Activity, but it's a fresh start, you could say. You could just hop right into this one.
So, like, without spoilers, you can blink if you want to. When it says next of kin, does that mean there's maybe some, like, blood relation to former characters? Blink once for yes, blink twice for no. Okay, that's interesting. No, because me and Emily, so it's on. It when with Sony, that's a great thing because we got a Sony TV. And, oh, look at him, this bastard! He jumps in just so quickly. But he's probably at a decent time right now. So, we'll introduce him, then we'll get going. Carl, sir,
Yo.
how's it going?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. How are yous?
Not bad. Is it
I'm
nice and early in
great.
the morning there now, or an afternoon for
It's
one?
4 p.m. I feel great.
That's awesome.
Well, like we said, now we'll go back to switching back and forth, everything like that. But so, anyways, I was gonna ask you something, Carl, but then let me just finish with Taylor here. So with the Sony TV, we got like a few months ago when mine broke. It has like a menu, and you always like know what's on and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool when like stuff comes to digital, like the movie Lamb, which I'm really excited to watch. That A24 one where the Naomi Rapace has a child and it has the head of the lamb. Have you seen that one, Taylor?
I haven't seen it, but I saw the trailer.
Yeah, you saw the trailer. Okay, yeah. So like that, I didn't even know was on digital because we didn't get it in Kelowna. It fucking sucks because it's a small theater. But then it's on digital, and my TV let me know. Like, oh, awesome! So we saw that with the new Paranormal Activity, and I will say that poster is really good. And
Oh,
that me
yeah.
and Emily are like, should we watch it? Like I don't know. So
Like,
it's interesting. Oh, good.
I think I think you guys should, just because it's like, to me, like, Paranormal Activities have that slow kind of build up, and this one is
Yes.
obviously no different. It's just it has that slow kind of build up, but it had a much more prolonged, exciting like third act, I'd say. Like, it got really crazy and just like super spooky and just had me on the edge of my seat. So much more than like previous Paranormal Activities, it would get crazy at the end, and then that's it. It'd be the end. But this got crazy, and then it just kept like escalating like wild, and then had like an interesting, eerie ending that has me excited for more.
And my last question, because like obviously you're gonna review it, so I'm not gonna go full in that. The poster is of snow and it looks like a cabin. Is that the primary setting of the movie?
Well, this isn't a spoiler. So basically, this woman who was adopted, she didn't know her biological family. So she goes to an Amish community and finds out this is people, her relatives. And then shit starts
Oh
going
no.
sideways.
That does sound bad. That you have this former community and stuff like
Have you
that.
not seen the trailer, Travis?
No, I have because I had
Oh,
no
okay.
actual intention of
He wasn't
watching
on that
Paranormal.
cast, remember? Kirklin was
Yeah.
just you and
Oh, yeah.
me.
Yeah.
We're deep diving into that one.
Oh yeah, no, and I had seen the first. I think I've honestly never really seen anything after the first one, and I might have more appreciation for it now. I just at the time with Paranormal Activity, I just was. I guess I wasn't in the headspace of Carl really
Carl
likes
loves
my take.
Paranormal Activity.
He's watching the trailer right now.
Like I guess I just maybe the whole found footage aspect back then I was like I kind of like was not snobby but just wasn't for me, but now I might be more appreciative. I'll get like a master list from Taylor of like which ones to watch or which ones to skip. So I've only seen the first and I had no intention to watch this till I saw that poster and I was like like if there's this movie set in the cabin and snow, I was like, hey, that could be fun. So but look out for a review of Taylor Field. So April, how's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. How do you? Because you love horror. How do you feel about the Paranormal Activity franchise?
The first three are really good. I have seen all of them. The last one was really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't watched the new one yet. I'm saving it for tomorrow. But
So I want to ask you first, because I know Taylor will get them all right. Can you name me all the subtitles of each sequel? Because for a while they did 2 and 3, but then they got some weird ones. Because Next to Kin, I was like, is this the newest one or is this an old one? I don't know. And I got to pull up a Wikipedia. I don't even know if I'd be right. I have no idea. Paranormal Activity franchise. All right. All right, April, can you name them?
so I think the last one was like the Ghost Dimension. That's the bad one.
Oh dear, that sounds bad.
Let's see. Okay, so the list of the Paranormal Ghost Dimension. Yeah, that was Paranormal Activity 5. Okay, so Paranormal 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there's actually only one.
Ghost Dimension should be 6. There is another one that has a no number, but a subtitle to it.
Are you sure? Because then when I click on the movie, it says Paranormal Activity 5.
Next of Kin is the 7th one, I believe.
Yeah, no, you're right though. Oh, but okay? So there is, I think, a spit. Okay, I think what the question is. So there's another one. April, you don't know the other subtitled one?
I remember another one with a subtitle.
Taylor, do you know the other subtitled
It's
one?
the marked ones.
Did you look at Google though right now?
No, I know.
Okay.
My Paranormal
The
Activities.
marked ones.
You know your Paranormal Activity too. That's on the trivia next week. But I think the reason is, I think the marked ones, is it technically like a spin-off?
After 4, well, yeah, it probably is, because the Ghost Dimension has references to the other films, so it's probably more or less a spin-off.
Because when I Google them, and then they like give you all like the movies in like a little block there. When I click on Next of Kin, or when I click on the marked ones, it just takes me to the marked ones. But when I clicked on Ghost Dimension, it specifically is Paranormal Activity 5. So that's the weird thing. So marked one's apparently not a hit. Didn't get a sequel. So
They retconned it. Just took it out of existence.
yeah, is that what this movie is? Next of Kin, just retconning the series?
I wouldn't say it's retconning it. Like
time travel.
A soft. Okay, yeah, no time travel. Like it just feels.
You got to
like
fix
back
some
to-
things.
Yeah.
Back to, back to
Yeah.
its roots.
Every franchise, Days of Future Past, Flash. When you got to fix some stuff, you introduce that Flash, thing. Are you going to be watching the new one, April, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Well, I might check it out. That poster had me try it, but I don't want to watch the trailer. If you guys said the trailer is good, I saw the trailer because I saw it last night. So I still have never seen the Resident Evil trailer. That actually is really, really good. I was surprised how good that.
Oh yeah, you got it
is.
in your theater.
Yeah, I got it in my
Yeah.
theater. I got that, and I keep getting that Judi Dench Belfast movie.
Dude, me too.
Where I was born.
April's not getting that trailer by the look of it. It was like I don't know what it. Do you have any interest in that, Carl?
I haven't heard anything about it. I don't think so.
It's a
I'll have to look
musical,
that one
isn't
up.
it?
Is it?
It's
I think
directed
so.
by
Well,
Kenneth
There's a
Branagh.
musical from Belfast and I'm not in it. There's something wrong there.
A autobiographical
I know what you're trying to say.
autobiofilm, which chronicles the life of a working class family and their son's child during the late 1960s in Northern Ireland capital.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's just I got it for Bond and I got it for this, and it's like it's Kenneth Branagh, but it looks like it's a really smaller budget type of film, and I just keep getting it, and I'm always like, I'm not gonna watch this movie. This trailer was the first time I was like, you know what, I might watch this movie. It wasn't too bad. It was the first trailer was just like it's just a boy running in streets, and I'm like, I don't like. That's cool, but I have no attachment.
That's all we do here, Travis. Just run around the streets.
Yeah, you just run till you find a
Yeah,
job.
we just run.
Yeah.
Well, that's their strategy, Travis. They're just trying to show you the trailer as many times as possible until you're like, Okay, maybe I will
Stockholm.
watch this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that what was it with Dune? It was great because I got the Batman and I got something else too, which was I was very happy to get. But just getting the Batman. Oh, I got Matrix, which I'm already excited for
Yeah.
Matrix. With Matrix on the big screen, that trailer was like that was really cool. So I'm getting really excited for Matrix right now. There's posters in the theaters now. I really like it's a simple one. Everyone's memeing it right now because of the whole Meta Facebook thing. So is like Facebook actually changing to Meta, or is it just the company?
I could not.
Well, they're
find it
rebranding.
Being well, it's not even necessarily a rebrand. What I had found was they're basically forming an umbrella corporation with everything underneath.
Oh,
it.
that's
So
bad
it's
news.
that
Resident
sounds
Evil,
good.
WhatsApp,
Yeah.
everything
Speaking of
underneath.
Resident Evil,
And
Right in time for Halloween.
Meta is basically the thing up above, and they're adding more to it. And that's where I got confused because it seemed like they're adding some kind of augmented reality VR kind of setup where you can actually connect with people in your homes, like more virtually than what we're doing right now. So much more of an interconnectedness, and Facebook is leading the charge. So if you don't trust
Sorry,
Facebook, don't trust them now.
I can just pop in and see you, Taylor, whenever I want.
He'll be right in my bedroom.
it's like the
Hey, Taylor, it's just
You have a
me.
photo of our GB3 when he's just like standing in your doorway. You know what I'm talking about?
it's like the oh my god, like just is it holograms in Star Wars? Is that the actual technical word, or am I thinking of it wrong? Like when they're blue and they're standing there talking.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're gonna get to soon. That's how we'll podcast. It's just a bunch of us just sitting in a room, everything like that. So I don't know. I the whole trusting Facebook or not trusting Facebook. It's a tough deal because it's just like I think if you are online in any social media platform, it doesn't matter. Like they know everything about you. They know your logins. Like it just there's not much. Kirklin, I really like your cup, by the way. I keep seeing you drink it.
Thank
I'm a
you.
big fan of the. You know,
Keep trying to show the different colors.
did you make it yourself?
Absolutely not.
Carved
No.
the Rubik's Cube out.
No, Christmas present a couple years back.
Just open it now.
Yep.
I
Mom
have
and Pa got it for me.
I have a Thanos mug, and I want to be more of a mug guy, but I never do. I just like I don't know.
You can drink water from mugs. It doesn't have
I
to be like a
know,
hot
I know.
liquid.
I guess
Feel
it's
right.
just-
Feels like you're abusing your power.
What power is that?
Just drinking water out of a mug. It's not what it's for.
I guess for me as well, like I never feel like a mug's big enough for the water, and I'm a big klutz, so that's why I'm always drinking stuff with like lids, or because I can't, especially now with 3 kids, you can't afford to have just a mug sitting around. That's
True.
dangerous, you know. It'll go anywhere. So, Maddie, how's it going?
Nice to see you guys. It's good, man. How's everyone?
You're looking
Very
well,
good.
Matty. You're looking well.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. It's nice to see you. You look good too. For
You
once,
always look good.
for once, it's not like 4 a.m., right?
I'm not yawning. There's no bags in my eyes.
He's cheering. That's what he does when he's up at regular
yeah.
times. He's just cheering.
Yeah.
He's animating stuff like
It's like
that.
Zemo in the
Yeah, I'm
morning,
watching.
you guys
I'm watching
in
the
the West.
Liverpool match. So I'm
Nice.
Is that your team?
Oh, you
Oh,
watching
yes.
some soccer?
Ooh.
yeah, football. Yeah.
They slapped Man U the other week.
Yeah.
Oh, it was glorious.
Yeah.
Oh, best
Really
day of my
Christmas.
life.
Me, Taylor, April have no idea. I'm like, who is this team? What is this?
Tom Brady, yeah, football.
Yeah. I love basketball, but no, it's doing good. So it's good you guys are here because I have a question. So Taylor, can you set this up the other night on Facebook? You messaged the group and you want some recommendations. Can you set up the night and can you set up what you told? And then I'm going to tell them what happened.
You can
and then
tell
I'm-
them what happened, and I got my evidence that I took.
What
I took
is
Got
it
his
no
as-
board again.
evidence?
He's gonna
Oh,
have his
I-
board with his
Yeah,
yarn
it all
string.
leads to Travis.
Okay. So Taylor the other night, he said like, I'm craving some Chinese food. What do you got? So he's looking for recommendations, right? So he like asks us, and then like I send a few, maybe just 1 or 2. Each of us send like 1 or 2. It's me, Jessica, and Kirkland in this conversation. We send them, and then of course there's like infighting because I send mine, and Jessica's like, "Oh, that's gross," and then she sends hers like, "Oh, well, that's really greasy," and stuff like that. So it's it's only 15 minutes, but still, it's 15 minutes out of my life, and we send him all these stuff, and then at the end of the conversation, he just decides to go with something that no one actually recommended at all. Like all of us took our time to say, "Oh, try this," and he didn't do anything. And then for me, he had Jessica was not a fan of mine, but then so he searched up mine, which was Walk In, and then there's one bad review about it, like, "Oh, tastes terrible." He's like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm trusting this place." And then so he's like, "Oh, well, 2 people said bad things about yours. It was only Jessica and this one review." And then the place that he went with, when I searched up What did you end up getting, Taylor?
Hong Kong Garden.
Hong Kong Garden. When I searched it up, one of the first reviews is like, "This place is awful, bad food." So it's like, how come the review on mine meant like it was the worst, but then you got a place? It's like you can't trust the Google reviews. You really can't, because some people say it's like the best in the world or the worst. So like, please, yeah, defend yourself or whatnot.
You paraphrase a lot of that whole story. So first of all,
Okay, no. The short story is you asked for recommendations, we sent them, and you went with nothing.
well, that's very true. So I asked for recommendations, and you said walk-in, and then immediately Jessica's like, I disagree, hate that place. And then I found not just a random Google review; it's literally the name of the restaurant, hours of operation, and then right underneath was like a tagged review to this store with its star rating saying it's okay, not the best Chinese I've ever eaten. Like, okay, rough start. And then you said that's fine, make a mistake. So you gave me your permission to go off from there. And then you had Kyle come in. I'll give you that. I love that place. I miss it. He's reminiscing being in Australia. And Jessica threw out some more options. Then Kirklin threw in the third sequel to this
Walk-in number
restaurant.
3.
Well, I can't believe there's a walk-in number 3.
It's
That's
literally called Walk-in number 3. Did you even Google it? It has great reviews.
So when I was looking, I'm like, okay, so basically that's two basically not for Travis's recommendation. When I was looking up their menu, though, I personally love to get this like a build item combo where you can pick either your rice or your chow mein, then you can get like 2 other sides. The walk-in did not have that. They had like the pre-did family things, and that was the biggest hit for me, because I won't lie, I did go onto the menu for walk-in and I looked for it. It was not there. When I went to Hong Kong Garden, they had it. The TripAdvisor thing, that wasn't a Google review. That was like 4 down on the list, and I'll give you that. That's definitely not what you want to hear. But upon eating the food, holy crap. I don't know if you can see it very well. The broccoli was the best Chinese broccoli I've ever had. It was so soft and so juicy. Sweet and sour pork was absolutely fantastic.
I wasn't mad that you didn't go with mine. I was just mad that 4 people, I guess, Kyle did give 4 people gave you a recommendation. You asked for them, and you just went with none of them.
Well, I took it all into account. I mean, that's asking for recommendations and feedback taken into account. I just wanted to hear everyone's take on it and what they're.
But it shows you don't trust any of us.
No, it's not that I don't trust. It's that I used everyone's information to form my own decision, though. It's not like I'm going to go balls to the wall like, oh, let's fucking do it. Walk in. Because there's a walk-in 3. Like, now that's even more confusing. What do I do?
And there's a walk out as well, which they also
not a good name.
Yeah, but it's not as good as walk in. Don't do it. It's a trick.
Did you know walk in is owned by walk out? They're the same owner.
Yes. I know, but that's what we thought the same thing. And on our delivery app, the food service, that one day walk-in wasn't on there. It's like, oh, we'll get walk-out. It's the same. It is not. Like, it's the same menu and stuff like that, but it's not the same quality. So, but
my quick thought on that is that it's not surprising to me that Taylor just went against the stray and just did his own thing. That seems pretty accurate. So.
Yeah, no, why did you just were craving Chinese food? Was that your go-to? Like, you need something? Because we ate it last night. I got Taco Bell. I got like 3 wraps for $10. I love Taco Bell, even though one's closed here already. And then I got another thing from the mall. So then we gotta get something tomorrow because Halloween, you don't have time to cook and stuff like that. So
we were gonna make burgers the first night, and then we ended up doing, I think it was Indian food, and it was like, okay, we're gonna do turkey burgers the next night. So we're gonna do turkey burgers. No, we ended up doing Chinese food, and then turkey burgers the third night. So
there you go. Yeah, I got a great like pulled pork with mac and cheese in the burger or the sandwich. It was really, really good. Kirklin, what's your go-to like if you need like food? Like, let's say your long work day, you're just gonna pick something up.
I really, really like Zab. Have you ever been there? It's a Thai place.
Okay,
why are you laughing? Fuck off.
Because I just for the restaurant named Zab. It's not the greatest.
It's so
name.
good. No, it's delicious. Taylor, I think you can build your combos there, so it's accessible for you.
Well,
have you guys ever been to? Just went to it for the first time last night. Skinny Duke's.
I'm going nowhere where it's called Skinny.
Skinny. Okay, no. It is so good. And Travis, honestly, I went in there. I felt like I was in last night in Soho. It has like a 1960s vibe. It was playing, honestly, songs from the movie. And I'm like, this.
You looked in a mirror. There's a blonde version of Kirkland Patzer.
It was so good though. The food was delicious, and
that's
it was
Skinny Dudes.
Skinny dudes. Dukes.
Skinny Dukes.
Oh, Dukes. Oh, I was close enough.
Get your Dukes up.
I'm gonna
No,
open up Skinny Dudes.
It was phenomenal, and it was really, really cool. Like interior, you go like different rooms, and they had like different like aesthetics. Like one was like a lounge, and then one was a bar area. The upstairs was kind of like it had like an open pizza oven with like another bar there. It was just really, really cool inside.
So
I
have
never
like
been
a
to it
murder
before.
room where you can murder your own meat.
Possibly, I don't know. There's a lot more doors I didn't go through, but highly recommend.
Yeah, I maybe. You know, we'll see. I got to look at the Google reviews first and see what people think, and then if there's a one
It's got
star,
good reviews because I did the same thing. I pulled a Taylor before we went.
But sorry,
Yeah.
Taylor, what was like? Did they have like an average review on 5, like out of 5 stars? What was
I'm
the
gonna pull it
average?
up.
I think the
If
average
it's like a
was-
4.4, that's like solid. That's like
It was
how low is
the average for what I went with Hong Kong was like 4, and then walk-in was
Okay.
4.1.
okay.
4 point. So wait, you went with a 4 and mine's a 4.1. Are you
You
kidding
You
me
gotta
right
try
now?
you gotta try the underdog sometimes, you know.
After all that,
My problem with Google reviews is most people only go on to complain when it's bad.
right,
Very
right.
few people
Yeah.
will say when it's good.
Yeah.
Like
So
I
you
love
have to risk
walking.
it.
Yeah, I love walking, but I've never gone there like giving them a 5-star review. I'm just like, oh, I like my food here, and then if I don't like it, I just move on. I don't really review food or anything like that. Even though, like I said, one of my new life goals is to be like on Netflix, those nailed it shows. Or right now, we just bought the Food Network for the holiday seasons because we love like the holiday baking shows and whatnot. I want to be a judge so bad, even though I have no like credentials. I just want to be a cook judge so bad and see
Yeah.
everything they make and stuff.
Can you imagine like being on the show and like you make your food? You're like probably a chef. Then you have someone like Travis, no idea what food is. He's like, this isn't good. This is bad.
I'd be like, where's the rest of the food? And they give you a wee tiny plate all spread out nicely.
Clay, it's good to see you. It's been quite a while. So you got some longer locks going on too.
Yeah, it's been a real long time. I have not cut my hair. I probably should. But yeah, no, everything's been going well. I'm done with school. I'm in the working world. So yeah.
How's LA?
It's great. Yeah, no complaints about LA. But yeah, happy to be back. And yeah, hopefully I can make it to the next few after nines. My schedule's all wacky now, but we'll see.
Yeah. You when you described to me your work life right now, you literally sound like Tom Cruise in Cocktail right now. You're like you're loving this on the weekends.
I can promise it's not that glamorous. That movie is not accurate, but the schedule wise, yeah.
You're not meeting some random girl and then fighting with the older guy that you work with and stuff like that. And
no, we're not sharing women, and no woman wants to stay up till 4 a.m. to go home with you.
No, they're like
it
it's 9 p.m. I gotta work the next day.
Right,
right, so.
Exactly.
Well, what about you, Click? It's also it's a bit different for you because you guys got stuff. I'm still jealous. In Canada, we do not have Jack in the Box. I'm waiting all the time. That was my go-to in America. Do you have like a go-to if you got to run and just pick something up? What's your food you're getting, like fast food or anything like that?
Oh man, I'd say especially with this going home so late schedule, instead of fast food, it's more just Kraft mac and cheese. I load up on Kraft mac and cheese, and that's an easy 5-minute make at home for a whole $1. So that's been my go-to, and it's just been kind of disgusting, but at the same time, I learned to appreciate Kraft mac and cheese.
Straight out of the pot, like the commercials.
Oh yeah.
Respect.
Save my dish time because at 5 a.m.
Exactly.
I'm falling kind of asleep. Can't afford to wash multiple dishes.
The new KD commercials lately are fucking gross. Have you seen the one where people are like blending it and stuff like that? Like it's a joke, but it's like maybe we just got them in Canada, but it's like they show them instead of their coffee, they put in the Kraft dinner. Instead of the shake, they put in the Kraft dinner. Oh, it's
They've
awful.
been getting weird though. They did like cinnamon heart flavored Kraft dinner in Canada.
What?
Like,
oh my
their
god!
The
flavors
Cheetos
are
one.
going weird. Yeah, it's.
I bought the
sleep on the Cheetos one.
I haven't tried it yet.
Is it
I haven't
good, the
tried it.
Cheetos?
I haven't tried it yet. I bought the. Oh, have you done Kirkland?
Kirkland?
Yeah, I had the hot flame one, and
that's what I got.
It was really good for like a good few bites, but the more I ate it, I'm like, I don't think this is good for me. I feel like I'm gonna be glowing internally or something.
That's not good. Because I bought that and I was gonna buy the other one, and I was like, I bought you it for Christmas because I was joking about it, but because I'm all like, anytime Taco Bell announces like, oh, we're doing like the super Dorito, like any gimmick food, I have to try at least once because it's just like, like it's such this generational thing. But it's like, I love the Dorito taco shells. They're great. I buy them all the time. Actually, I don't buy them all the time. That's such a lie. I'm not a hard shell guy, but all right. So you've set me up my expectations for the craft dinner now, but
it's something new, right? Like it's
yeah.
I don't think I've had a similar flavor before. So the
Was
first
it
few
actually
bites, you're like,
spicy? Was it spicy?
it wasn't
It
overbearing.
says flaming hot. It says flaming hot.
I don't think it was overbearing. It
No.
was it's pretty good.
Well, yeah, no, that nothing worse though when it starts good and then it starts to get worse. I like right now. I'm not sure in America. Do you guys have Happy Planet over there, like the shakes and everything like that? So I've been doing that lately for lunches and stuff like that. But I got this one. It wasn't Happy Planet. It was a different one. I was documenting this with the GV crew. I had this drink where it was like kale and like lettuce and all this stuff. I was like, oh yeah, this is good enough. And then like probably about 2 minutes later, I was almost like anytime I would drink it, ready to throw up. It was one of the most disgusting things ever. And it got worse and worse. And I threw it out. I felt so bad. It was like half a bottle, but I threw it out. It was disgusting. So
picture you like that dream sequence that Woody has when Andy's like getting rid of his toy. I don't want to play with you anymore, but you're like tossing your full Happy Planet just in the trash.
Again,
I don't want to eat you.
It was not
anymore.
Happy Planet. It was just another juice I tried. So that's why I stuck with Happy Planet. No, I don't want you because if they can sponsor us at some point, great. But no, I felt like Dumbledore in what was it? The prisoner. What's his Half-Blood Prince? That was me. Like the more he drank and he starts to forget stuff and
Sounds
feels
like you were
pain.
more like Dumbledore falling off the tower, the clock tower, to be honest.
No, that would have been me. But I no, you don't even remember the scene I'm talking about, Taylor?
No, I know.
Oh, Clay, I had stopped watching Harry Potter after Prisoner of Azkaban because I was like, fuck, they're never gonna Voldemort. And of course, I dropped out at the movie right before they got to Voldemort. Spoilers. So like when I started dating Emily, that's her favorite franchise and everything like that. She's getting a Harry Potter tattoo. So we started to rewatch them, and then I had only got up to 3. But then she's like, "Oh yeah," and then we were talking about it, and then Dumbledore dies here, and I had no idea. We were literally about to start the rewatch, and I was like, "Man, I don't know if it's my fault. It was like out for years, but I had avoided that spoiler for the whole time, and no, I knew he was taking the plunge in Half-Blood Prince. So poor Dumbledore. So
she told you which movie too.
I think yeah, pretty much. Like I can't remember how it came up. I think she just mentioned it like almost a way that I just like she thought I knew it.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
just like
yeah,
in conversation, and then. So luckily I didn't know how it went down because from all the previews in Half-Blood Prince, I'd only seen the previews while not watched them. I thought Draco was like the big bad. I was like, okay, he's going to be, and then he wasn't. So I was like, okay, that's kind of fun. But that kind of happened. So what about you, April? Do you have a go-to, like you got to pick up food the next half an hour? Where are you stopping?
Taco Bell. So I'm a vegetarian. I don't have a whole lot of options.
Yeah, it's getting better, but like when I was vegetarian for a while, it does suck when people go out and you're like, you get that menu and it's like, oh, there's 2 things on here. I hope it's good. Yeah, no, they got lots of options. Maddie, what about you?
Man, that's tough. What would I pick up? What the hell do I have around me? I'll have to come. We'll come back to that. Let me think about it.
Now, Carl, I got no idea because I don't know what like how many you obviously you probably have like the McDonald's and Burger Kings. Like you got the big joints out there, right?
Yeah, we got the KFCs and stuff. Yeah,
KFCs.
We've got what's that Canadian coffee place?
Tim Hortons.
Yeah,
what, Tim Hortons?
Yeah, we got Tim Hortons. There's
it's not
a couple.
Canadian though.
There's
it's American.
Is it?
But why is it not in America?
It's in America.
It is in America. Yeah, they put it everywhere.
Really?
Is it?
In like Michigan, I think there's some locations.
No,
I'm with Matt. I thought it was because the reason I
Tim
thought
Hortons
that
was Canadian.
Yeah,
it was originally.
Burger King owners, I think, bought Tim Hortons, didn't they? I think that happened a few years ago.
So has it always been in America or just recently?
I think just recently, and I only because my auntie lives in Michigan, and she said there was a location like kind of close to the Canadian border. So it's trickling down.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember athletes would always make jokes about like, oh, it's great to be in Canada. I can like stop at Tim Hortons stuff. So I was like, oh, they just don't have it now. So like my first half of my life, I thought it was in America, and then I learned it. And now in my next half, I'm learning it is in America, and I'm completely wrong.
There's 611 Tim Hortons in the United States as of October 24th, 2021.
Wow.
Really
Someone is updating that website daily, and it's Taylor Field. He gets some email. Oh, gotta add another one, you know. Oh man, Carl, is there like one place you've seen like a lot of movies or TV shows like in America or North America that you don't have over there?
There's loads. You see a lot of random franchises that we just don't get. We've got McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, Subway. That's probably about it.
Do you have A&W?
No.
You don't even know what that is, do you?
No.
Well, see, yeah,
A&W is great.
I want some Wendy's. Wendy's is at a chicken place.
No, it has chicken, but it's not like a chicken place. They're known for like right now their huge gimmick that I think really kept them alive for years is something called the Baconator. It's like multiple patties with lots of bacon and stuff like that.
That's dangerous, honestly.
It is, but
you can like feel your arteries just clogging with everybody. I swear.
When's the last time you had it, Kirklin?
Like high school. Like I can't do it to myself anymore because I used to get it every time.
Yeah.
Do it.
Taylor, do it. How many Wendy's is there in America, Taylor?
I'll let you know.
No, I thought you might know, but no.
It's like the same website.
Do you guys have chip shops? Would you just have a chippy?
Like just fries, right?
Yeah. But it's just and sausages and pasties and burgers.
We have a couple of like we've talked about this before, like the poutine here. We have some of those, but we don't just have like we have fish and chip stores, but
fish and chips,
Yeah, we don't have just a fries place.
Oh yeah, well that's what you call fish and chips. Well, it's just a chippy.
We do have just fries. There's like Five Guys fries. There's New York fries and stuff like that.
No, that doesn't count. That's not real.
Burgers and fries. So that's Five Guys burgers.
That's true. Well, New York fries, I know they count, I guess, because like they have poutine, but they really think they started with just the fries. So I think you're right about New York fries, Tate. I'll give you that one. But yeah, Five Guys is definitely. They're moving locations, so I don't know if they're moving or if they're going.
Five Guys is the shit, man.
It's really good.
Really?
The ones we have here are good, at least in Montreal.
Use like peanut oil too.
Sorry, we do have Five Guys here, but it was overpriced garbage.
That's honestly what I feel about Fatburger. I think it's overpriced, and I think it's overrated as well.
Do you guys have Fatburger?
The States has Fatburger. I thought it
was
originally
it came from you're right. It came from there. Yeah. No,
A&W in the States.
Yep.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Well, there has to be.
It has to be. I built my whole life on the fact
it's in the records.
Oh yeah, no. See, I used to love Five Guys, but I feel recently here the West Side ones started to go downhill, and I think that's maybe why they're going out. I think they really started to skimp on their fries and stuff like that, and the burgers. Yeah. I talking about when I was vegetarian, I didn't know this. So their veggie burger, when I ordered that before, was just like the patty with just the inside. So like the cheese, the lettuce. I thought they actually had like a veggie burger, and they didn't. So when I ordered and I got it, it's like. It's literally just 2 buns and cheese and lettuce. Like this was not worth the purchase at all. Like,
no patty.
Sick.
I know that's what I said, Carl, when I got that patty. I was like,
they scored.
Yeah. Peach. Oh no, I just got offside. Oh.
So
stressful.
So Clay, anything you want to talk about that you've missed recently? Because you've missed. I can't remember the last time.
I remember the
last time you were on, but I don't remember I think it was like in May or something of that. It was a while. It was a good finale for you for a bit, but now
was the last time. The last time is that where you're?
I think so. I think the last time is when we thought we may never see him again. But what's happened recently?
No, I survived that. Kind of. I remember waking up the next morning scared shitless. I was like, "What happened last night?" We were at some party all day, and then I told the guys, I'm like, "Guys, I'm gonna go back and do this podcast." And I was just not in the right mindset.
If anything, that would have been a good Halloween, like after 9. The way like you were fucking disappearing in that.
Right. That was the funniest part because at first did pick up on it, and then like you're talking really fast, but then it was the best when you'd go away and you'd be gone for like like talking about Paranormal Activity. You'd be gone for like 15 minutes, and then we would just see you walk from one door to another, like
The
really
Flash.
quickly. Yeah, like the Flash, like
It
flash
was
across
so
the screen.
freaky.
Yeah, trying to change time or something like that. But yeah, and then you'd be like up on the stairs and stuff. It was like some Conjuring, Hereditary stuff, like that moment Hereditary when the mom's just hiding in the corner. That was Clay. You would just pop out randomly, but.
I tried listening to the recording of that cast and I couldn't do it. It was too painful. So I had to turn it off.
Yeah. What do you want to talk? Because like I said, it's been a while since something on your mind. Because I know there's been times where you want to talk and then something can happen with after. And I'm like, oh man, I want to get in there and say something, but
Yeah, no. So that was May. I mean, there's been a bunch of stuff that's come out since then, but obviously
yeah.
the stuff that's the most in my head is all this good stuff we've gotten in October.
yeah.
I guess I'll weigh in quickly, thumbs up, thumbs down on each movie, and then people can ask questions or other people can just start
Judge
talking
you.
about what they think.
9.5 for Dune.
Yeah. No, Dune was everything I wanted it to be. I've not yet listened to your guys' review. I'm behind on podcasts, but I know you guys were all pretty positive on it.
Yeah, I think most people at least seem to like it. I haven't met anyone that said like they hate it. I think the most
Same.
people that have problems with it are people if they didn't like the ending as far as it maybe being like a kind of a part one, which I can understand. Like I understand now that we got part two. I feel like it's a lot easier pill to swallow. But when there was that like a week and a day of hey, they haven't announced a sequel yet, it was like oh man.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, so that was a 10 out of 10 for me. Which that's the only like 10 out of 10 movie I think I've seen during the pandemic. I was like, this is awesome. So I was super happy about that. I despised Venom. I thought it was really rough. I really liked the first Venom. I thought it was really funny. I haven't rewatched it, but this one I just guess I wasn't in on the joke. I just thought it was kind of annoying. What other ones? Last Night in Soho, I did see that yesterday. I thought it was really good at the beginning, and then I thought I won't spoil anything, but I thought the second half it just it never really like the writing I think like too many loose ends, and it all came together in a way that I don't know if I really liked. It had some awkward choices, I thought.
And it's funny because like me and Chris are going to review, but the second half, or more like the third act, seems to be the divisive part of either like you're in it or you are like. And I don't think anyone's saying it's bad. It's just one like, oh okay, like I would agree that the first hour is definitely the strongest of the movie because it's kind of tough though. Like that almost is the case with so much mystery. Like when you set up mystery stuff. Like sometimes the result, because we've seen so many movies, can never live up to that. But I could tell you, I had a feeling of that take because I saw some dots after you said you'd seen it, and I was like, oh, you're around there. But yeah, I've seen that sentiment, and it does get a little wacky, but I was there for it. You know, I'll explain more in the review. But I there's definitely some choices I had head scratchers, but I just love it. And man, that soundtrack is. Oh. That soundtrack is my soundtrack of the year. There's so many, and as somebody like I'm not trying to be that hipster person. Like, oh, I like the '60s too, like the main character. But like, I definitely '60s to '80s. Like all that music is the majority of stuff on my playlist, and like the soundtrack, like song after song, was just oh man, it's just fantastic.
Agreed. Yeah, I was a big fan of the first half and all the music and everything except like plot choices toward the end I was a fan of, so I definitely liked it. Just it frustrated me a little bit, and then but I think that was just because some of these other movies lately have been so good, like Dune, and then the last two that I'll say big thumbs up on, James Bond and Last Duel. I couldn't have been much happier with either of those.
Yeah, Last Duel I still have to see. I'm still trying to find
it's so
time.
good.
Yeah, I'm trying to find time, so I want to see it before it's out of theaters here. So yeah, what about you, Matt? Because I know you've been seeing a lot of the movies too, and I know Bond. Did Bond live up to your expectations?
Yeah, Bond was great, man. I loved it. I'm dying to rewatch it. I haven't gone to the theater, but like, I'm just really the first day that it's available to watch from home, I'm gonna watch it. Like, I can't wait. But yeah, it was awesome. It was great finale. I couldn't really have like asked for a better conclusion, you know. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And April, I have to ask with Venom because you're not alone in our Discord. So I know that you really like the first Venom, so you liked this one. So How was that for you?
I liked it a lot. I've seen it 4 times. So
Ooh,
Whoa, 4 times.
it's very impressive.
I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. Oh man, and it gets better each time, or is it kind of the same?
it's about the same, but it's a good time.
Wow.
All 4 in theaters?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, she recorded her own version, took that home.
just took a camcorder in. So I just rewatched it.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. I can't remember the last movie. I think the last movie I went back to back multiple times was probably Endgame. Like I know I'd seen Joker twice, but Endgame I think I'd seen about 3 times and whatnot. I would love to. I know I'm going to see Bond again this weekend. I'm going with the lady because she's not seen that. She's a massive Bond fan, so she hated missed the first time. But we're shipping the kids off after Halloween. You're going to the grandparents for a night, and we're going to see Bond because it's one of those I wanted to see on the big screen and stuff like that. And it's we got new movie memberships here that happens in America, but we actually got like passes and points now, so it's nice and everything like that. So,
guys, I have a quick confession to make about Venom. Okay. I always buy my tickets ahead of time, like I love advanced tickets with Cineplex. I reserve my seat, whenever. So whatever, I bought my ticket like 2 weeks before, and I wasn't really a fan of the first Venom. It just whatever, wasn't my style. So the night of the premiere comes, it was literally Thursday, like premiere night, first night it's out. And guys, I kid you not, man. I was like, I do not feel like going to watch this movie. I was like, I feel like I was envisioning what it was gonna be like based on the first one, and then the trailer, and I just bought the tickets because I love Venom, I love Carnage, like the characters. I feel like it would be so cool. But then the night came, and I was just like, for some reason, I feel like I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna like want to leave. I don't know. I just felt like I wasn't gonna be feeling the movie, so I just decided not to go. So I literally sacrificed the ticket, and I haven't seen it. So I'm gonna watch it once it's available, like to watch from home.
Was that with a group of people, or were you going?
No, it was literally by myself. Oh, okay. It was by myself. Yeah. Does that make it better?
I think it makes a little
better. Okay.
It's like, Maddie, where are you?
you have all our tickets.
Yeah. I'm coming. Don't worry.
You said you sacrificed your tickets, so did you not even get a refund for the ticket?
No, I mean I used Scene Points, so technically it was
okay.
I didn't pay, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'll enjoy it probably better than the first one, if anything. Because the first one, at least now I know what to expect, whereas the first one I didn't. So I feel like if anything, I might end up liking this one more with lower expectations. But I don't know. I just I just go with my gut and that's what I was feeling that day. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've even talked about on the podcast where like something like Ghostbusters coming up, like I'm excited for, but I was like, I'm not excited to the point where I want to be there maybe like first night to make sure I move everything around. I don't know if we need like a mass review. So it's one of these things of like, for a while you feel just so obligated to see like all these big movies, so you're talking about and whatnot. But now I'm like, okay, there's times where I said Ghostbusters one. Same thing with Resident Evil. Like it looks really good. I don't know if I'm going to be going there day one, but maybe it's like, oh, on a Tuesday, or even if that I don't know why they're not putting that out on Halloween though. That movie, it feels strange to have that the month after Halloween to put Resident Evil out. I feel like, I guess it's just unfortunate the competition. I guess this month, like you already got Dune, you got Soho, you had Halloween Kills, you had Bond. So like that's probably why they were scared to put it in.
It's out next month already, Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's like the 24th or something like that.
I saw the trailer like a week ago. I feel like only they premiered. Didn't the trailer only come out like 2 weeks ago, or was it
No, I think it's been a bit longer than that. Kirklin, you guys talked about newscast. When was that around?
Maybe I don't know. I feel like I just.
It was about 3.5 weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
Okay, it's not that much different than 2 weeks, I guess. I thought it was a lot further than that.
I still don't know. Super short notice to be like marketing the movie, but. Yeah.
Hey, Spider-Man's out in like a month or so, and it doesn't even have a poster yet.
That's true. Yeah,
but I guess that's Spider-Man, and it doesn't have like it doesn't have a weird. Like I said, I'm excited for Resident Evil. I still question that the title, the Welcome to Raccoon City. I don't think that brings like anybody.
Which trailer did you watch, Travis? The international or our North American one? Because
probably the North American one. That's
the international one was so much better than the one we got.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the North American, to be honest.
No, well then I'm gonna really like this if I saw a North American one and I like that, and I was like, I guess I like that just because for me, and Taylor, you can defend yourself, but for me, this feels much more like the Resident Evil I like and enjoy and play. This like even when they're like showing the house and the mansion, it's like okay, we're really doing this like fan service stuff, which is great, but you liked the more, I feel like, later in the franchise when it was very more action adventure.
I just like the Resident Evil like on screen. Like it's just great. Like I love Mila in those other films. Somehow we got 6 movies. We got to start and finish. And this, you're right. There's some scenes, at least from the trailer, that are spot on from the game, and I think that's going to do great justice to fan servicing people.
But that's the thing. I feel like the substance of the trailer that I watched was cool. Like I like that that kind of stuff. But for me, it was the actors that were in it. I'm not really crazy about them. I find them a little. I can't really pinpoint what I've seen them in. I know them. I've definitely seen them before, but I find they're a little lower tier. Like, not that I need a big star in Resident Evil, but like they seem a little cheesy. I would prefer it, if anything, like no-name actors in it as opposed to those guys. But
he's like Taylor. You wanted Mila. He's like,
Mila,
what's this?
back.
This is my
Scott
Resident
Eastwood
Evil.
in there.
Yeah.
Like,
Scott Eastwood.
Scott, enough of your Scott Eastwood fan. Like, I don't like that he's becoming your Michael Fassbender. Like, and like, I feel like you can't even name 3 movies you've seen Scott Eastwood in. Go.
Pacific Rim 2.
He studied for this.
Oh,
I'm sure he's ready.
He's still having a hard time with 2.
No, one of those film adaptations of a book. Which one was
there's
that?
one you should know, Taylor. There's one you should really know that he was in. I'm surprised that it's not coming to mind.
Like,
He
I
always
see him in the roles, but I can't remember the names of it.
That's
I'm not
Scott
even a
Eastwood.
fan
You
of
see
Sugo.
him, you don't remember
Pacific
him.
Rim 2 is just my go-to. I love that movie.
A driving movie. I'll give you a hint.
He was in the new Guy Ritchie movie. Did
Don't
you
help
see
him
that?
out, Clay. You're not on his
Help me,
team.
help me. He was in the
Well, yeah.
driving movie.
Which movie was that, Clay? What's that movie called?
Is it Wrath of Man? Did you guys see that?
Oh, okay. No, I
No.
didn't see that. No.
It's awesome.
Taylor, are you
It's
serious,
so good.
man?
I gotta catch up on all those Guy Ritchie movies. I don't know why I like
Well, he's an
gave
okay.
up on Guy Ritchie. I just like he just put stuff out. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll see it eventually. I just never got to. Maybe it was King Arthur, and I was like, okay, I think I've had my Guy Ritchie fill. And
I
What was
wasn't
the last one?
I wasn't excited for Wrath of Man, but it's like top 5 movies for me of this year. It was awesome.
he's putting out a lot of movies. He's like
Yeah.
sometimes like 2 a year. He's like
Yeah.
it's pretty impressive. He did that's why he was using all the Aladdin money that he got. That's why, like, he got that big paycheck. He's like, I can make all my movies I want to now. So Taylor, the driving one he's talking about, he's in Fast and Furious.
There you go.
Like it's 8,
Oh.
right?
That doesn't even pop
Or
up
7.
on, like, his Google. Overdrive is what pops up.
Overdrive. What is Overdrive?
I have no idea what that is either.
It's definitely maybe a spin-off of some sort.
That's the
but-
driving movie Maddie was talking about. Oh yeah, you haven't seen Overdrive? And then he's in Suicide Squad. Remember?
Right, that didn't even
Is
pop
he?
up either. Longest Ride is the one I remember him from.
Long.
I'm a
Squad.
Nicholas Sparks fan.
You're a Nicholas Sparks fan.
Oh, some of the movies.
What's your favorite one? I gotta pull them up. I can't remember them all.
Oh, what was that one with Josh? I can never pronounce his last name right.
Josh Duhamel. I don't even know how to
Duhamel.
say it. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Wait, sorry, Travis. What's Scott Eastwood was in Suicide Squad?
Yeah, he plays just like a side like bodyguard or something like that. Like
Which one? Which Suicide Squad though?
The David Ayer one.
Okay,
Or, like,
wow, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, he's in there with Ike Barinholtz and all those.
Okay.
Okay, so you got the last song. That's one
Safe
Miley.
Haven.
Yeah, the one with
that's the
Jo-
one that I like. Dear John.
Oh
is very
my
sad.
god, you like Safe Haven?
Oh yeah, it's a rough story. Like you just root for this girl.
I hate that. Okay, I don't care. I'm gonna spoil this. I hate that she's talking to some sort of ghost throughout the movie, and the ghost is his ex-wife. That's weird.
It's a romance, like, you know, a feel good movie. Like
It's a feel-good movie. It's about a woman running away from abuse. I don't know if it's a feel. I guess
where
like, the
it
ending
comes
is
to, where it comes to. Like Dear John is what that movie really saddens me because I just feel bad all around. It starts
Yeah.
happy, but
all these movies you they make you happy, but you feel bad. You know. I can't. And so, like for you, you didn't go with the class. You didn't go with the Notebook, huh? That doesn't
well, I
do
do
it for
like
you?
The Notebook. I didn't say that I don't like The Notebook.
No,
one
that's not
thing
your
that
number
gets
one.
me, it's not my number one, but the one thing that gets me is just I hate how there's like that time gap between the two main characters that they just, for whatever reason, it's just like they're broken apart and they don't get to spend all that time when they really love each other.
That
It's just
happens
super
in life,
sad.
Taylor.
It's not. I don't want it to be in my life though.
No, exactly. What about you, Carl? What's your favorite Nicholas Sparks movie?
Oh, that one. Debbie Does Dallas.
Debbie Does That.
Carl, how you holding up, man, with the game? I just want to check on your well-being.
It's
Does that
not
look
good.
based
No.
on your face?
And then what? You got a Walk to Remember, the last song, the lucky one.
Oh, Walk to Remember. It was good.
Walk to Remember was really good.
Yeah, I remember that one.
You probably haven't seen that, right? That's an older like '90s movie. Mandy Moore. I don't know what state we'll get to do a Nicholas Sparks retro, but you never know. The Walk to Remember. I remember I like was going to sleep at it was like 11 p.m. on like a Thursday or Wednesday when I was in high school, and it was on TBS, and I had it on. I was like, "Oh, what's this stupid movie?" And it's on, and then like 15 minutes in, and they're jumping off these bridges. I was locked in, and I watched that whole fucking movie on a school night. I stayed up till like 2 a.m. watching A Walk to Remember, and I was like, "This is a damn good movie. I really like it."
It was a good movie.
And like you don't want to talk about sad Taylor. Watch that movie. That's a sad ass movie. It got me.
Cry.
And who was the guy that starred in it? Like it's so funny. Mandy Moore became such a big star, but he had Shane West.
Shane West.
I don't remember who Shane.
He was
West
in Get Over It. It was another great film. One of my favorite musicals.
One of your favorite films? Wow.
Yeah.
League
favorite musical.
Oh, The League. Have you guys seen The League? I feel like
that and Grace too.
That's like a GV movie to retro, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
That's so good.
That's you guys.
You think that movie's so good?
Yeah, it is.
You don't like it, Travis? I love that movie, man.
I mean,
maybe not today. It might not hold up, but like back in the day, I loved that movie. When
you guys are bugging me about the Resident Evil trailer, and you guys are over here enjoying League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Captain Nemo, Sean.
It's not. It never held up. It always buckled.
No, it's so good.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That was a sick hat.
Maddie, when's the last time you watched it, though?
That's been a while, that's for sure.
Yeah, I guarantee you, if you rewatched it, I don't know. I haven't watched it in a long time. That made Sean Connery quit acting. That's how bad. It's his last movie.
That's a high note to end off of.
Oh, come on.
and the story, remember how this went? So he had two offers on the table. He either was going to play Gandalf or League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and he took League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Let's look at sequels.
And like I'm happy because Ian's the perfect Gandalf, and I think Sean Connery would have been too much of a distraction. But man, you got to be kicking yourself the fact that you did League of Extraordinary Gentlemen over like Lord of the Rings. That's
okay. So on that note, another similar movie, early 2000s. Maybe it might not hold up today, but back in the day, I loved it. Guilty pleasure. It's actually like my unofficial Halloween movie, just because of the type of monsters that are in it. Hugh Jackman's Van Helsing.
That is so good.
Yes.
That is a.
Me and Taylor are on your side, Maddie. Yes.
I don't know if me and Clay are on your guys' side. Me and Clay might be in the minority, but I'm fine with it.
Dude, it's Hugh Jackman slaying like fucking vampires. And
it's so good.
It's got everything. Jekyll, like
Dracula,
Frankenstein.
Hell yeah, man. That's my house. Taylor, that's my unofficial Halloween movie. Legit, I watch it every Halloween.
It's just
so
like
good. It's a guilty pleasure. It's good, man. You don't like it, Travis?
Yeah, it's like Stefan from SNL. It has everything. Werewolves, Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She hurt her back lately. I heard on the radio. The radio host
Such random news.
Why is that on the radio?
I don't know. They were making
what are you
fun
listening
of her.
to, Taylor?
They're making fun of her. Like, yeah, she was putting on like skinny pants and she threw her back out and she's dressed all.
Serves her right.
Hey.
Serves her
why
right.
are they throwing like shots at her here?
That's fair. I just bended in my chair the other day and I was like, oh shit, I think something happened to my back. But
you don't wear skinny jeans, do you?
No, God, no.
No, that's okay.
It's not even that. I don't mind if I'm not like you. If people wear them, I'm not gonna be like, oh, good, throw your back out. I just don't think they look good on me. I like
on men. Yes, you can say it.
Well, no, I think some people can pull it off. Me, no. I need some baggier jeans. You know, I need that going on. But I thought you were gonna tell some story, Taylor, about how she like hurt her back on set. But no, just randomly right now she hurt her back. So.
Mm-hmm.
Travis, what's the quick take on Van Helsing? I saw you shaking your head.
I think
assessment. Yeah.
I think you're right as far as if you're saying guilty pleasure. I can put in that category 100%. I really do have to rewatch it again, and I think next year what I want to do for Halloween is I do want us to do some Halloween like retros. We just always like it's like we were just talking about. It's like Eternals and Dexter, and then the charity streams all in the same weekend. Yeah. Every time we do the charity stream, there's always some fucking big movie. It's kind of annoying. So like we're always so busy for October, but next year. I was gonna maybe have us all pick one, and if Taylor, I imagine you might pick one of those. But yeah, I'd have to watch it again. It's tough for me to hate anything with Hugh Jackman because Hugh Jackman is just like like I said, he's one of those guys. If I was still single and he showed up at my door and says, "Hey, you want to get married?" I might just say yes. Like I'm not a gay man, but I still like his partnership and just seeing that man all the time. And he just like every time he's posted on social media, he just looks like such a fun guy. Whoa, my lights are bugging out. But
he's the best.
I don't even have my remote, so that's not good. But I think guilty pleasure is the right way. I do need to see it again because I think the last time I saw it again, speaking of TBS, was just like randomly on like a TBS, and it was probably Sci-Fi. I guarantee you that's what it was. It was probably like on Sci-Fi or something. So I think I have to rewatch it. But I remember thinking like, oh, like we could have done some more stuff with this.
That
but,
one's aged even better than League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I love it, man.
What has aged better, Van Helsing?
Van Helsing, yeah, the guy that plays
I can believe that.
Dracula. Oh, his
yeah,
accent.
He's amazing, man. Yeah, that they nailed that. He's awesome. Like I don't know who he is, but.
Yeah, like because I can give you that one. I can't give you League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Back-to-back watch along.
Oh, that may be a long night. Yeah, no, but yeah, everyone has their guilty pleasures and whatnot. Like I always because
what's your guilty pleasure for Halloween?
For Halloween, I'm trying to think of a movie that I would think is bad that I would rewatch.
I've got two.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Kids watch Halloween Town, Travis.
Monster Squad
for sure. Oh, Monster Squad, that's a good one.
And Ernest Halloween. I can't remember it. Ernest Scared Stupid. That's what it is. Yeah, Ernest Scared Stupid. Brilliant.
Did Travis like fall over?
Oh no, I just
I heard you laugh when you were gone when I looked back.
That's how I die on this podcast right before Halloween. Just a heart attack from laughing. But no, what was the one you just said?
No, I said, did you make the kids watch Halloween Town? I feel like.
So it's very controversial. She's busy, so I can't bring her on. But my fiance absolutely fucking despises Halloween Town and everything about it. So we and the kids, myself and the kids really like it, but her not so much. So we got to watch when she's not around. But she hates she has some questionable movie choices too, but she hates like anything like that. Not hates, but like that or like Goosebumps. Lots of stuff that has child actors and it's like overly cheesy. She just can't do it. But yeah, Halloween Town for sure. That's a good one. I loved all those. And then like the Return of Escobar and all this stuff and everything. Like those were great ones. And then I hated they recasted the girl for the third one. She said like she was down to play the role, and they just recast her. It's like, and no, they didn't recast the other people. They just recasted her. Wow. It's super shitty. So no, that's a good one. If we're talking more Disney Channel, there's it's like called like Under the Bed. That was another good one from Disney Channel back in the day, where it's like her friend turns into like the boogeyman and stuff, or her imaginary friend turns into the boogeyman. That's some really good stuff right there. Oh, but I gotta think of a guilty pleasure.
Did you say that there's a movie called Halloween Town: The Return of Escobar?
Yes.
That's the most amazing movie title.
It says when Pablo comes back from the dead.
Pablo.
Not the Escobar you thought. He's dealing something else in Halloween Town. Yeah, I would love that What If movie. Just Pablo Escobar taking over Halloween Town, like slowly working his way up with the ghosts and ghouls and stuff.
Is it actually Escobar? Or is it literally Escobar?
I think no. I think it's Caliban. Actually, now that we're talking about it, let me look.
Caliban sounds right.
Yeah, Caliban. Yeah, because there's like this whole
Calabar.
It's Calabar. There you go. So that's where I got the Escobar
from Logan, right?
This is Calabar.
What?
Caliban's the guy from Logan, right?
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, and he had a quick appearance in Apocalypse, but he was, but he was not the same actor. That was when X-Men was like, we don't care about continuity. He's in both movies, and they're like, okay, cool. But yeah, no, Halloween. I'd have to think like lots of Stephen King movies for sure, because there's some that are great, but there's some that are crap. You know, there's one that I think people don't enjoy it, but I think it's just called Silver Bullet. It's a werewolf movie with Gary Busey. I really, really like that one. Where it's like, so it's him. He goes to visit his like sister and her kids, and he's like a deadbeat uncle. He's just always owns money and owns drugs, stuff like that. And people start getting attacked, and it's a werewolf. And like the twist is that it's like the local priest, and you learn that pretty early on. So not a big twist. So it's like the local priest, but he's like really struggling with it. So like he's always telling people like, don't go out at night. Like he's trying to get people to stay in because he can't control it, because when he turns werewolf, he just destroys this town. And it's I really enjoy it. But again, I bet if you looked at it, it'd be like probably reviewed terribly and stuff like that. Because I think anytime Gary Busey's in a movie, it's like this was before his accident, but still he was like always kind of a cheesier actor, right? He was very like out there and stuff. So yeah, that's a good one. But I have to think, because I just think about all the good movies I watched. I just rewatched The Descent this year, which I forgot how good that was. That was, oh my god, I forgot like just like how guerrilla style it is, but just like, oh man, that movie is it's scary and it's messed up. And I had not seen it probably maybe at least 10 years, but popped up on Amazon Prime, and that was worth every second
Part
of it.
2's
It
not
was
bad too. Like, it's nice that they're like so back to back.
I got into 10 minutes of part 2 and I turned it off, so I don't know if I get
It got
it.
too
But like,
scary for you.
yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah, I couldn't go back to that cave. They wanted to go back. No, I can't do it. But no, that fuck mountain climbing after that movie. Like, no fucking way. Like that. And that friend was terrible though. Took them to this mountain that they had no idea about. They wanted to like put their name on it. That, you don't trust that friend, you know.
Did GV watch Hellfest a couple of years back?
No, I've still never seen it, because I saw a preview and I remember. Oh, I actually remember what happened. It was when we had this movie ticket service called Cinemia, but like they got shut down, so I never got around to seeing it. But like that, because we have a local corn maze here, and I was like, oh, this looks like that. I did watch a version. It came out maybe the beginning of the pandemic. The posters of like 3 masks, and it's the same thing where these friends go into a fun house and they get killed.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like a Shudder original, maybe too, and that was too bad. But is Hellfest good? Is it worth the time?
I mean, it's like a typical slasher. I mean, you know, if you go in with that expectation, it's nothing special, I would say. But if you like, you know, just if you want to just throw on like an easy, cheap slasher, then yeah, I guess.
No 4.4. Not that. What is the key? Why when you look at food stuff, why do you need the 4.4?
I don't know. I think that's a good number. You know, it's a good at least over 4, I would say. But I was just curious. I kind of threw that to him as like just a nice medium point to see what his over under was. But I still can't believe he passed on the 4.1 for the 4.0 after all that deliberating. He kills him.
Oh yeah. Of course. No, I'm just looking up guilty pleasure Halloween movies. Does anyone else have anyone to shout out? Because that's a good, because I feel like I just always make sure I watch the really good ones. But Nostalgia Critic, top 10 Halloween.
I don't
Taylor,
know.
you haven't seen Hellfest?
I don't think I've seen it, but you were talking about, I think these people go to a haunted house and it turns out the people are really getting killed.
It's like an amusement park, like a Six Flags when they do Halloween, you know, like I think it's just an amusement park. It's like an amusement park, but like on Halloween night they do like all the haunted houses, and
I'll have to check it out. It sounds really awesome. I'm trying to build up
it was okay.
list.
The trailers looked fun. Like I wasn't expecting
I would watch it,
but
I would watch it. I mean,
I have 2 for guilty pleasures. I mean, this one probably not so much, but I never hear anyone else talking about it. But Monster House is just such an awesome classic.
Yeah, it's such a good one.
There's so much background detail that's going on that I feel like the animators didn't even have to put into this film.
It scared me when I was a kid. I thought that was like a really good scary movie for kids.
It's terrifying.
I remember starting to watch it. The animation looked so terrible, but just get sucked in.
Yeah, that's the problem for me. I watched again. I like the concept, but the animation it's kind of meh for me. But that's not a bad choice.
It was a good film.
Does anyone else like Haunted Mansion?
Oh yes,
That is a guilty pleasure. There's no one in the world that wants to like that movie more than me. That's my favorite ride at Disney World. But that Eddie Murphy movie is not good for me. I do not enjoy that. Go ahead, defend it, Carl. Why do you like that?
You're talking Murphy thing? Crap. Yeah, it's just a great movie. Like you can watch it with your kids. It's stark enough. It's that just perfect level.
Yeah.
Have you guys rewatched it recently though? Because back as a kid, I loved it when I watched it, but I actually came really close to rewatching it like a couple weeks ago on Disney Plus. But I'm like, I feel like I won't like it as much now. Have you guys seen it recently? Like
I did last year.
I seen it last year. Yeah.
Unfortunately, my kid really liked it, so I'm sure I'll watch it again. But I was like, oh no, because she requested it again after we watched it. Like, oh,
it was a harder
worst.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm hoping she doesn't request it again. But man, we watched Addams Family 2 last night. I do not like these Adam Family movies. They're like I don't know.
The animated ones?
The animated ones. Yeah, they just feel so lazy, and I don't know. I was not a fan of these newest ones for me. I definitely will be skipping the next one. So.
Carl and Taylor, did you guys watch Haunted Mansion recently or
together?
Yeah, together. He came into my room with the Facebook Meta thing.
How Haunted Mansion?
I watched it.
He had his vibrating played on
last year. Okay.
I do own a hard copy of it though. I loved it so much that I bought it.
It's not surprising.
Go trade that in, please.
It held up though. You liked it, even you, Carl.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
Okay.
Can't trust these.
Go for it.
They're making a new one though. You saw there. It's like Owen Wilson, Tiffany Haddish.
Owen Wilson.
Was that your Owen Wilson impersonation?
No. Wow. That's why.
You're like, Owen Will. You sound like you're trying to do that by saying his name.
It did, yeah.
That's how he introduced himself. I'm Owen Wilson. But like, and I think Lakeith Stanfield might actually be in the Haunted Mansion movie. I think they've announced that, or he was in talks at one point. So I hope it's good. I really want to like it. And I'm also happy they're making it because apparently this shut down them making the Wedding Crashers 2, which I'm very happy about. What, Carl? What would you get? What?
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late. Yeah, I agree.
But like, and what would you do with that sequel?
We don't need it.
Yeah,
I don't care. I just want to watch those guys get back together for a bit. It's just going to be a fun time. But
the original, it's good.
Or you got the Google movie they did.
I tried watching Anchorman 2 and I couldn't get through yet, so no, I don't want to see it.
Well, and the plot line of this, it was so annoying that so like the beginning of the movie, apparently they both break up from the people they were with and they just go back to wedding crashing. Yeah, and I hate that in the movies. And like, I hate sequels that do that. Just like, oh, we spent this whole movie, setting this up, setting this couple up. And then the first 5 minutes, it's like, they did that in Anchorman 2 where him and Christina Applegate just break up like right away. And you're like, what? Like, it just feels so lazy. Like, oh, we have no idea what to do here, so let's just. Zoolander did the same thing. They killed off his actual wife, and then he's like, well, he's sad, and he's back to mom. Like, they always just have to fridge or destroy the relationship. But yeah, Wedding Crashers. I liked half the point was, okay, they're gonna break up, they're gonna go wedding crashing, and then Owen Wilson takes someone back to his place, and he starts to realize like this might be his daughter, which I thought, like, okay, that could kind of be fun, like playing up the like he bumps into his daughter, and then he goes and crashes his weddings or his daughter's wedding to get close to her, which I feel like is not needed. Just like say, hey, I might be your dad. Like crashing the wedding is like, I feel like as the daughter, I'd be like, fuck, like that's kind of a shitty move. Just like if you think that might be your daughter, maybe go talk to her. You don't got to crash the wedding, but. I kind of like the hijinks of that, but I did not like him and Rachel McAdams and Eliza Fisher, they're just going to break up and they're back to wedding crashing. It's like, I don't think you need to break him up. If you want to do the wedding crashers things, just make him find out that, that might be his daughter and to go talk to her, they are going to crash the wedding. You don't got to break them up and make them all single again. It's just, I don't know. It's just, but I'm happy it didn't happen. At least right now it's on board. Clay has his hand up from Los Angeles.
Well, I think Taylor is first if he wants to go.
Oh, that doesn't matter. Taylor likes Haunted Mansion.
We don't just show his quality.
I just wanted to confirm, Travis, have you been looking at the chat on like YouTube? Because Fanboy Clay has been like talking and making like he's been commenting on it on every topic.
Oh no, actually I pull it up. Because I'm so used to StreamYards when we do it. It's on the side there. Let me pull it. Why?
I think he's been with us the whole time because he's throwing in his opinion on like everything. Like,
that's good.
Yeah, nobody cares what Clay says anyway.
Oh wow! For once,
does he like the league? What did he say about the league?
No comment on the league. All right, Clay, where do you go?
I was just gonna say, I think I've got two things about Wedding Crashers. One, did you guys ever hear about that rejected idea or idea that never happened where the sequel was supposed to be, this was like they were going to make this a year or two after the original came out, and it was going to be that they meet a rival wedding crasher who's way better than them, played by Daniel Craig.
Played by
Daniel Craig?
Awesome.
Daniel Craig?
By Daniel Craig?
He was going to come in and play this amazing wedding crasher.
I guarantee you, after Bond, they're like, "There's no fucking way you're doing Dan." Like, they're like, guarantee that shit. See, that would have been fun. Or I would have taken that as like, even though I hate prequels, if they would have made that before. Because again, I don't like the idea of like you breaking them up. Because the whole movie, the first one's supposed to be like they both mature and fall in love. So I feel like it's weird for the sequel to right away be like, no, they're not mature. They just want to get back to wedding crashing and stuff like that. But if that, like that concept of them versing like another wedding crashing team, who would you pair with Craig though? That's the question.
That's a great question. I have to think about that. But that's
Wilson.
I don't like prequels either. I think
Luke
that totally
Luke Wilson. That'd actually be really fun. Luke Wilson going off against Owen Wilson. Oh man, yeah. Or do they just go the route like because Daniel Craig? Do they get like another just super good looking like who was a super good looking guy in 2006 2007 at that time that they would Mel Gibson.
Super
Henry Cavill.
Too.
No one
Totally
knew
different
Henry
vibe.
Cavill was though. Like 2006. I don't even know what to search. Biggest act. That's what I'll
McConaughey.
do.
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Oh,
that would have been
all right.
that would have been tons of fun seeing him. Oh yeah, because him and Owen Wilson would have had tons of fun together. Oh yeah, that's a good one. George Clooney. No, these are still actors big enough now because I have this list that's like Halle Berry, Keanu Reeves, The Rock, Nick Cage. Like those feel all still pretty
Halle
relevant.
Berry isn't
right
still big, is she?
she has 2 movies coming out next month. She has on Netflix. She has the first movie she's directed ever. That's happening. It's about like an MMA fighter. And then, Taylor, I feel like this has to be up your alley. Have you seen Moon Ascending or Moon Departing or whatever it's called?
Jupiter Ascending?
No.
Oh
So
my
this
God.
is a movie. This is a Roland Emmerich movie coming out where it's her and Patrick Wilson and the moon.
Moonfall.
What is it called? Moonfall.
Moonfall. Amazing title.
And it's literally about like the moon explodes and it's coming to Earth and it's gonna like kill us.
And who's directing it?
Roland Emmerich, who did like Independence Day and all those type,
Holy
like all
shit,
these.
I'm there.
Moonfall sounds like a Tropic Thunder fake movie. Like it really does. Like Moonfall. And like, I'll get
Theaters
the
near you.
100%. It's so funny. You are right though, Clay. When I searched Mel Gibson actually was coming up a few times. Fuck, give me Sean Bean, Daniel Craig and Sean Bean crashing. I want to see Sean Bean in that situation, everything like that. But Roland Emmerich, because he did a few. I think he just did one recently with who's I Am Sparta guy. What's his name?
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler. He just did one recently that was like another like the
Green
world.
Greenland.
Greenland. See, that doesn't sound like a bad fake movie though. That sounds like it might be about the environment and everything.
Moonfall sounds like a fake James Bond title or something.
yeah. It sounds like the working title of a Bond movie before it gets the real title. But oh man, Independence Day 2 was not great.
That movie sucked.
White House
that
Down,
looks-
and he
that
also
looks
did
brutal.
Stonewall, a young
The
man's
fuck is
political
that?
awakening during the days and weeks leading up to Stonewall's riots. At one point, Roland Emmerich was actually making movies, and now he's just decided to make stuff like Moonfall. Oh man, Greenland. I'm trying to find the Magic Flute. What are these movies he's making now?
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to find Greenland and that one Gerard Butler did. But yeah, I tell you, you're gonna like it. So I think Greenland he just produced because it was directed by Rick Roman Rod, and that was Marina Baccarin, Gerard Butler, and then the plot was a family struggles to survive in the face of a cataclysmic natural disaster. Oh well, that's
Has anyone
pretty
seen
generic.
that?
I heard
No.
it was actually good.
Is it good?
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, that's good. I'm happy for Gerard Butler. He has a fun movie out there, but yeah, Haunted Mansion. They're making another one. That's how we got here. Wedding Crashers 2. I'm trying to think. Does anyone else have any guilty pleasure Halloween movies? That's what I was looking for originally to shout out there. Like I guess like it's a cop out, but I feel like any of like the bad sequels further down the line in like the whole like Halloween or Friday the 13th, like Friday 13th completely Jason X would be a guilty pleasure one for me. Like that movie's awful, but it's so bad it's so good. Like the fact that they thought, oh, we're gonna put Jason in space, like hell yeah. And like I love so much about that movie, even though it's so bad. And but even then, like the Leprechaun movies though, that's a bit too much for me. Like Leprechaun to the Hood, Leprechaun in space, and then back to the Hood. Though I think that gets too far in the. It can't be a guilty pleasure for me, you know.
Travis, Jason X. Quickly, I just have a vivid memory, not the whole movie, just bits. But I remember dying when I saw it. He puts a girl in like a sleeping bag and
Yes.
starts like swinging the bag. I was like, what the fuck?
That's one of the best gags because they bring him to
Oh
like
my
this
God.
augmentation room run by
Yeah,
Meta.
okay.
And then like, yeah, so there's the two girls because they think like this was gonna happen. These two girls start to like flirt with Jason, and then he just puts them in the bag and destroys them and everything.
Okay, yeah, they like simulate like the camp or something. The
Yeah,
campsite,
because they're trying to get him home. Like, oh, Jason, come swim with us. And then
my
they just
God.
like smash cut to him, like destroying
So
him with the
good.
bags. And that reminds me too of like the opening because they kind of tribute that in the opening of the remake. people might think guilty pleasure, but that Friday 13th remake, that is a really good remake. That actually is one of the best horror remakes ever. The first 15 minutes where they introduce you to all the camp counselors and then they kill them all off was so good because you're like, what the fuck is the movie gonna be? Because they're like, and some of them are like actors you've seen before. So I like that they did like this Scream thing, and like, oh, that's what also I got with Last Night So Kirkland was the Scream trailer. I got that, which I still and I misheard. I feel bad in the GeekVerse podcast that I said that the all the victims are related to the other people from Woodsboro. They're not. They're related to the killers of Woodsboro. I missed that thing. So like which I actually like even more because now Stu and oh man, why am I Billy? I like that it's kind of they were the killers and now you got Ghostface like, oh, I'm gonna mess up your family that's left. So I actually kind of like that. I still don't like that they showed Jenna Ortega. Like she's clearly the opening kill. I wish they like held that, but. You know, that's fine. Piranha 3DD.
Oh,
this is a list of.
No.
April's laughing. Do you approve, April?
Yeah, I do.
That movie's good.
Taylor, I'm surprised. What this feels like Piranha 3D and 3DD was up your alley.
Piranha 3D was just. I thought I was gonna get something like a Jaws, and I went there with my mom. And
okay, you thought you were gonna get Jaws for Piranha? Bad expectations.
I was like,
your mom
15,
watches some dodgy shit with
Taylor
you.
with my mom. Just was not ideal.
Boys.
Yeah, that's still my favorite thing that you had to watch the mom boy scene where Homelander fucks himself, and you were watching that with your mom. You know?
What? Seriously? Oh my god!
Hey, she was walking around the house. She didn't notice what I was really watching, but
oh, she noticed.
I thought you were like sitting together.
I kept telling like, Mom, I have to watch this for work related reasons.
Yeah, your mom's just like my son's fucked up. Like, look at what he's watching over here and stuff like that. That's I can't remember if I've told this on After. Maybe I haven't. The title of this podcast was "Is Taylor Phil a Bad Friend?" And speaking of like, because we talked about like the Chinese food, another thing that I hated Taylor Phil doing. So one night we played Call of Duty for like hours and hours and whatnot. We were on the microphones, everything. So we, talk trash, swear, and have a good time, all these things and stuff like that. And then like 3 hours into it, he's like, yeah, okay, good night, Mom. And she was sitting beside him the whole time. He never told me once. He never told me once that his mom was just sitting. So it's like whatever joke or maybe whatever I said, your mom just like, oh man, this is who's your best man at the wedding. Like this is off. Like the whole, you couldn't have gave me a heads up. I would at least censor myself a little bit. But no, you're just like, oh yeah, good night, Mom. And then
it's not like you were saying anything super bad or anything.
No,
like that.
but just still like
just the possibility.
Just to clarify, my mom does not live with me. I don't live with my mom. She comes and visits
every
to watch
day.
the boys.
Yeah, to watch the boys.
Yeah, every season.
But what if I even would have made some joke about like something to do with your mom or something like that? She would have been sitting right there and been like, "Oh, this is the type of friends you associate with," you know?
Well, I would have laughed at the joke, so she would have known that it was all fun and games. So
I would have laughed at the joke, and she just looks at you.
That's on him, Travis. That just means you didn't care, because like it depends on the person. Like me, I would have told you guys like, yo, like my mom's here, like careful what you say. But I don't think Taylor gives a fuck. So.
No, apparently
she's
not.
A grown woman. She can handle, language.
Oh, I bet she can.
Taylor, I have to ask you.
I was
just gonna say, because we've seen this movie on TNT, because I always watch wrestling. They are saying The Meg is a Halloween movie. I do not think that Meg is a Halloween movie. Would you agree with that?
No, I think it's more of like a summer movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're like, oh, Fright Nights, whatever. They're showing like Jason, all these people. They show Jason Statham, like, that's a megalodon, and I'm like, no, that's not a Halloween movie.
They're running out. That's why.
Yeah, they are running out. They for sure lost the rights on it. But that's why I'm surprised. Like, I feel like Piranha is completely in that Meg category. So I'm surprised you didn't like them.
It's just, I think the experience of seeing the first with my mom. I watched the first one actually on my own like a month ago, and I was trying to get back into the groove. I couldn't do the second one because like I watched it, but it was just so kind of like obnoxious and not.
Is there too much sex stuff for your choir boy eyes?
No, it was just there was one scene, and part of this is gonna get explicit, so kids leave now.
I hope your mom's listening.
I believe it's this guy's head. Like he was like. one of those characters. His head gets cut off and like lands, and all you see is this full-on scene of this woman and her hoo-has just like going like this, and blood in the guy's head just like flopping in them. It's just like this. I want to see the piranhas. I don't want to see this right now.
Is she having sex with him in that scene or something?
No, they're running because the piranhas got into the water park, and like his cut off head is just like bouncing in her like.
Oh, really? A bounce? Wow, that's impressive. Wow,
It is impressive.
Clay, you got your hand up.
I was just gonna say, I talking about those bad sequels of the franchises. I watched for the first time the other day Halloween 4, and
I'll defend Halloween 4.
That ending is crazy. It was I was laughing my ass off. I did not see it coming, and all of a sudden, what's his name, Dr. Loomis, he just starts screaming like a maniac, and the little girl is there with the bloody clown costume. That is one of the craziest endings I've seen.
It was, because I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, oh shit, like, but those franchises, like, they did the same thing in Friday 13th, where they tried to make Tommy, a young boy Tommy the killer. Like, they were so obsessed with, we're gonna have the big killer go after a kid, and then they're gonna beat that killer, but then the kid's gonna be damaged, so they'll be the next one. But it's always like, the audience is like, we don't really want that. And it's so funny because in Friday the 13th, they do that with Tommy, and then the next movie, they retcon it. He's just like a normal guy again. He's not going to be the new killer. And then same thing in Halloween. They don't retcon it, but they just say, like, her and Michael had a physical or a supernatural link, and he, like, took over her body and started killing. And it's just like, because then they start to introduce in 6 that Michael was actually a part of a cult. And that's like, oh yeah, you've never seen that?
I started watching 5. I haven't finished it yet, but yeah, they retconned it in 5, and I was annoyed.
Oh yeah, because in 6, Paul Rudd's in that one, and that's when they start to introduce that Michael Myers is part of a cult, and that's why he's like so strong and everything like that. And so it's so funny though, like they always do that, and then they walk it back, like no, this is not a good idea. It's the same thing. Jason Blum was saying that about Halloween, because he's like, the Halloween Kills is coming up, and he's kind of like, oh yeah, and we think we could do some Halloween movies without Michael in the future. It's like, they already tried this, and the fans reject every time. Like Halloween 3, that season witch movie, is not like an awful movie, but it's just like, if you throw the word Halloween and it's in that franchise, but Michael's not in it, the GA will look at that and go, I don't need, like, Michael Myers isn't there. Like, they need that character. Even if what they should do is they should do a Halloween movie that's like Trick or Treat, where one segment is about Michael Myers, but then you have other stories in there. Because at least on the posters and whatnot, you have Michael. But if they do another, like, season of the witch movie again, like, with Halloween 4 and this one, I don't think it will do well. People are there to see like the icons, so it's weird that he's already like, yeah, we were gonna do more after Halloween Kills, unless Michael he wins and Halloween ends again. Like, it doesn't actually ends, and he's just still going.
Dude, Halloween 3, I have the most vivid memory. When I was a kid, I rented it with friends. The entire fucking movie, I was like, where's Michael? Like, I was just waiting the whole fucking time. And then like to the point where like even like the first 10 minutes, I was waiting, like the opening scene. I'm like, oh, is that him? He never shows them the whole movie. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? To the point where then the movie just ended. I'm like, oh my, are you serious? I was so confused as a kid. I was like, what did I just watch? I was so confused.
You said you rented it. Was it with, how much was the rental, like the price? And was it with your money or your parents' money?
Oh man, I have no idea.
But
that's a very specific question, Taylor.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know what the movies go for back then, like $5 to rent a movie, I would say.
Whatever it is, he wishes he rented something else.
The money didn't matter, Taylor. It was just that, like, the experience. You're watching it with your friends. It was Halloween, I was so hyped on. I'm waiting to see Michael Myers. I didn't understand it as a kid.
All you see is him like on the TV, an ad for the other Halloween.
It was a wild movie too. I was like, what am I watching? And then he just never shows. Like, maybe now, I'm sure, like, if I rewatch it, I'll appreciate it more. But like,
yeah, I had to rewatch it because I was the same. I didn't get through it, but my grandma kept trying to pitch it to me as a kid, like, "Oh yeah, but it's different." And we got 10 minutes. It's like, I don't want to watch this because there was no Michael. It's like, it's not good enough. And then like, it is a good movie. It's just like that. It just feels weird that it's in that Halloween franchise and stuff like that. But that's so funny. I don't know if I've told the story in After 9, but that just reminds me of when I saw it for the very first time, being confused as a kid, that it was on like a DVD that had 2 parts, the Tim Curry one, and it's back in the day when you had to flip the DVD. So I watched part 1, and in minor spoiler, part 1 ends with Stan, he like takes his own life and then he writes it on the wall, and the movie ends and you go in part 2. I did not know there was a part 2. So for years, I just thought that was the ending. I was like, fuck, that was a super anticlimactic movie. Like, they just keep talking about it's coming back, and then it ends with them like, wow, this is a really artsy ending. Like what's happening? And then years later, I found out about this. But then what I did is I watched part 2 first accidentally. And then I watched part 1. I was like, oh, they must go back again. And I'm like, oh no, this is part 1. So like, it took like on my third try, I finally watched the Tim Curry It as like, and the full thing, like rightly. I was like, okay, this makes more sense. But I remember for years being puzzled about like, man, like they just had him kill himself and that was the end of the movie. Like we didn't even barely see Pennywise. Like what's going on? It's just, it's so funny when you're younger and you don't have like the same thing with Michael Myers. You have no idea. Like if you would have read like he's not in this, you're like, oh, I'm not watching this, but you just see the title, and they would get people like that again. But there would be people that would be mad in this age of like, hey, no Michael. Like there's already people that complain like Zendaya's not enough in Dune as far as like writing articles, which I get. So it's like you don't have Michael Myers, people aren't going to be happy, you know. So I don't know. I think they just take a break, and I think they like, I don't know, because you're a big Halloween guy. Like, what do they do with Michael after ends? Like, let's say Michael does die. Do they like? I feel like they just got to wait a little bit and just completely reboot it.
You wait a little bit and you do a complete fresh reboot, because at this point, like, we haven't had any reboots. Well, actually, no, we did. We had the Rob Zombie one, but other than that, it's been, I think, like the most sequels. I think it beats Friday the 13th in terms of sequels, doesn't it?
It's pretty close. Friday the 13th had quite a few. Well, because the big thing, I think Friday the 13th has 12. Because the big thing is the next movie would be the 13th. The problem is the fucking rights are just, again, I will never understand how rights work sometimes. How the fact that some people own the title Friday the 13th and then another camp owns Jason Voorhees and they're completely separated. It's just like, how did that ever happen? Why did you ever separate those rights at any point? So it's like, oh, you can make a Friday the 13th movie. You just can't have Jason in it. Or you can make a Jason movie. That's why we have Jason X and Freddy versus Jason, because they can make those movies with Jason. It's like a Spider-Man deal, but they couldn't put Friday the 13th in space or whatever. So it's the same. I think they've said recently there might be some traction of like fixing that, but the fact that they ever let that happen makes no sense to me. Of like, yeah, you have Jason, you have Friday the 13th, go.
They just got to change the name, like Thursday the 13th or Saturday.
Oh yeah, such a ring to it, you know. But no, they did anyone ever watch the Friday the 13th TV show back in the day? It was the same thing as Halloween 3. They did an anthology show called Friday the 13th, but Jason was not in it at all. It was just about scary stuff in the world. Yeah. And I was always waiting for Jason, but nope. I think they even show his hockey mask. But
how do you guys feel about? I don't know if everyone has seen both of them, but the Rob Zombie and like the second Halloween. The second one is brutal. The first one, when I watched it the first time, I remember liking it. I probably have to rewatch it. How do you guys feel about at least the first one?
April, how do you feel about those? I'm very curious.
They're fine. Oh, yeah. I've seen them once. I probably wouldn't watch them again.
For me, so I actually agree with you, man. Like the first one has some merit. I actually do. Like some people don't like it. I like when they have Michael in the home and they're showing like the drawings and how he grew up and stuff. I think the parts I don't like is I Rob Zombie just sometimes gets so obsessed with like gross stuff, and I always hate like I don't really enjoy the way he treats women a lot in most of his films, because like I get it's the point where you can make bad characters, but the fact that they're always in all his movies feels like a little weird, and it's just stuff like they're like characters like always joking about like necrophilia and all this stuff. Like it's just you feel gross sometimes watching Rob Zombie movies, but not like the good type of gross where it's like, oh, they're getting a reaction. I mean, it's just like, this feels like your friend that still makes those like dated jokes. You're like, hey, this isn't funny anymore. And I feel like Rob Zombie, like he still does that, but like he has an eye, like he has some talent. And I liked the brutal kills he gave Michael. I like some of the stuff he did with Michael, but yeah, that second one for me is brutal. Same thing when they introduce like him and Laurie have like a supernatural link and they're like teleport. No, that was, and you had that one moment where Rob Zombie's wife is walking around with like a horse, and you're like, why is this in a Halloween movie? What's good? So I did not enjoy the first one. Had some merit, but I did not enjoy those. What about you, Taylor? Because I know you've seen them probably at least once.
Yeah, just looking up the other movies that Kid Michael has acted in. He's in some weird movies.
Such a weird thing. I'm gonna see what Kid Michael's doing right now.
I was curious. I was like, what is that actor like up to now? It's been a long time.
Get him on here. Send him the Zoom link.
Yeah.
I don't mind the first Rob Zombie Halloween. I definitely agree with you, Travis. It definitely is a little bit gross and has some random things that kind of.
You can't watch that with your mom. You can't watch that with your mom.
No. I mean, definitely not. But I definitely appreciate them giving us more of like an origin backstory, and like the whole sequence of him being a kid. I thought it was actually pretty good because just seeing like the abuse and everything he was doing, it was just super crazy, and it gave us more like, okay, not like we have now the shape possessed kind of like ascending thing. This is just a kid who just is absolutely mentally compromised and just hates how abused he's getting and does all that and just kills.
Like, I hate to give it this credit, but it almost feels like they tried to make like obviously this was before, like, but a Joker version for Michael Myers, right? Like, okay, let's see in a real world, how would Michael actually get to this state of being so messed up? And they do that well, but then they eventually start to introduce he's inhuman and he's getting shot and stuff like that. And it's just like okay, and like that's fine, but like there's so many times where it's just you want us to think it's a realistic world, but then he's getting hit by trucks and he can just walk away. And but this is the other thing too. It's like, again, I think, warm blood male, we can all appreciate, like, he puts in some, sex scenes and stuff like that. But I remember the first Halloween, he just has like so many sex scenes in there that go on for like a long time. It's just like, what am I watching? Shame? Like, why are we like, why is there a 5-minute sex scene? Like, I get that's a classic horror trope, but it's like usually the sex scene, it's something quick, it happens background, you see some nudity, you move on. But there's like, he's making like an art film in the middle of like all this stuff. Is like, I don't need this happening. And they're in both movies of, I don't know. It's just a thing. Like, I sometimes feel like Rob Zombie, and I love his music, just feels like the guy who has not lost his virginity. He's like, yeah, and like, I just want like a bunch of naked women in here, and like, we're gonna shoot for 10 minutes. It's like, but at the end of the day, you've never heard any actor or actress saying like he's an asshole or like force him to do anything. So I'm not saying that. Just like, it just sometimes it feels like a very younger director who is just, I don't know, has not had much experience in life. I don't know. It's weird, but I love his music, so I'll say that.
I think you guys said it perfectly. I love the origin story aspect of it, but everything else, it's like you're better off just watching the original at that point, So,
yeah, but it is fun. Like, when you watch that chart, how we have like now 4 different Halloween timelines. Like, you would have never thought like the Halloween franchise is the one that would do that. Has everyone ever heard of Microwave Massacre? Because I was going through this guilty pleasures for Halloween. This is on whatculture.com. That's what gave Prawn 3D. Sorority House Massacre 2. I don't think I've ever seen that one. I think I saw the first Sorority House, but...
Are there any Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans?
I am.
I love those.
Greatest horror movie ever made.
Yeah, I love those.
Whoa, greatest horror movie ever made. That's a bold take. I don't think
you're... Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're wrong, but that's bold. Like, I actually have met too many people say that. But no, that's a good one. The first one
I love those.
Amityville was good.
Yeah, the one with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's interesting. For me, greatest horror movie for me is Shining. That's the one. That's my go-to. Like, Freddy's probably my favorite, but I absolutely love that. Taylor, I shudder to ask, what do you consider is the greatest horror movie of all time? Not your favorite. What do you think is the greatest? Because like, I feel like me and April's, those are ones that you'd hear. You'd be like, okay, those are scary. What do you have?
Usually for me, my go-to is just the original Halloween.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
What about you?
Spirit of Vengeance specifically, What about you, Kirklin? You gave a little smile when he said Halloween.
No, I was just expecting something wild. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was too.
Good pick,
Rob Zombie's Halloween, he meant, actually.
I feel like The Shining would be a good one. I also watched that like pretty young, so it left like an everlasting impression on me. But
you got to do a double header. I'm doing that soon with Emily, of that and Dr.
Sleep. Yeah, that'd be a good back-to-back for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lately, I've just been like pushing Hereditary so much on people that I feel like that's such like a special movie, and not enough people have seen it. You haven't seen it? Oh,
no, I know. I keep hearing about it. I haven't done it.
It's so
Midsommar.
What type of? You haven't seen Midsommar either?
No.
What type of horror do you like, Carl? Like, if you were to say, like, if there's one genre of horror that you lean towards.
I sort of went away from horror because it stopped scaring me a long time ago. So if it's not the classics, very few things get on my radar anymore.
If you're looking to be scared, I'd say you could definitely give Hereditary a try. You got to watch that at night, like lights turn off. You'll have a good time. Midsommar is not, I don't think it's scary. It's just more of a like, oh, this is twisted stuff going on. But Hereditary has some moments. There's some real, like, first 20 minutes, like you'll be shocked. There's like some stuff where you will not see come. You're like, man, this is so. I would definitely recommend it at some point.
I'll try. Actually, I'll watch it tonight. I'll get a Chinese.
There you go.
I'll put it on.
Oh, yeah. Hong Kong Garden.
And it's shipped from Kelowna to him.
I'll be getting no broccoli in my Chinese. That's just wrong, Taylor. I just had to let you alone on that.
You don't like broccoli in Chinese or broccoli in general?
I think in the takeaway there's no vegetables in it. Hell no.
Really?
No.
Carl's
Sorry, April.
Guy, man.
Sorry,
Carl's
April.
a potatoes guy.
Yes, it's all about the chips and the fried rice
Chips with his Chinese
and
food, just
the, and
all
the
day.
barbecue ribs and yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So
okay, I'm
Hereditary,
hungry now.
wow, Kirkland. That's a recent pick, you know.
Well, it's just I watched it not too long ago, so it's just in my mind, and I've been just talking about it so much.
Have
to
you seen
people,
a lot
but...
of originals, Kirkland?
Wow, he's calling you.
Wow.
He's saying
Fuck
you don't
you,
have an
Taylor.
opinion because you've not seen a lot of originals.
I said The Shining originally.
No.
You can go here?
Exclude The Shining. Exclude The Shining.
In the cinema, yeah.
In the cinema.
Yeah,
No, I've seen
back
the
in the
original
80s, Kirkland was
Halloween.
there.
I've seen the first Friday the 13th. I haven't seen any of the other ones.
One day,
I never really watched them when I was younger though, so I don't really have like a lot of nostalgia attached to it.
Yeah.
That's where I said like The Shining would be like the easy pick there, because that one was just fucked up, like from start
And
to finish.
Nicholson's so fucking good in that
Yeah.
movie. Like he's like, again, like it's because he's such like a massive star now, but people legitimately I feel don't appreciate how good of an actual like actor he is when he wants to be. And Nicholson in that movie, and Shelley Duvall as well, she's so good. And like both, like the fact just them two and this kid who can kind of act is pretty impressive. You know, like it's just, man.
I remember too being younger, and I watched The Strangers with my grandma, and that one like
Oh yeah.
I was pretty young,
yeah.
and there were, instances just being home alone at night, and that one just like fucked with my mind. I was just so scared of like people just coming to my house and murdering me. So
To
that
me,
one
that's
stuck
the
with me for a few
scariest
years.
stuff, man. That's what scares me the most.
Oh, yeah.
Shit like that, because it's real. Like shit, that could actually happen. You know?
Exactly.
Like,
Easily. Yeah.
yeah.
It will happen, Matty. It will.
Whoa, what the
Tonight,
fuck?
lock your doors.
Now, if Manny dies,
I
please
thought we
go
were
back to
boys,
this
Carl.
podcast.
What the fuck? Don't-
Podcast or murder.
Yeah, Carl's not actually like not in North America. He's in Canada the whole time, and that's
Finding
that's
my
his
demise.
Oh,
alibi.
I'll get
I
Hong
don't
Kong
live there.
Garden, Taylor. Yeah.
There'll be a Netflix series documentary about this.
Yeah. Before I ask Carl, April, you heard that the new Chainsaw Massacre, the next one's going to Netflix. Did you hear about that?
I did not.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know who's producing it, but yeah, they are making, and they're doing the classic. This is just a sequel to the first one, so they're doing like the Halloween sort of like. That's the new trend. You had like remakes, reboots, and now it's like, well, we're doing a sequel, but it's the real sequel this time.
Yeah,
And I'm
fuck
sure
everything in between. Yeah.
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, and I guarantee you know what's gonna be called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're not gonna give it a 2. They're not gonna give it a subtitle.
100%, yeah,
It's like
100%.
Scream. When I saw that trailer, I'm still like, why can't it be Scream 4? Like, why is it just Scream? It's not even a remake. It's a reboot. It's just same thing as the newest Halloween sequel. It's just Halloween. So you have Halloween from 1978, and then you have Halloween from 2018. It's just like
They
it's
don't give
fu-
a fuck, man.
Oh no, they just want their money.
Yeah.
That's all they want. Like so, but yeah, I think it's supposed to come out next year. So I don't know if there's a date or anything,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know how I
hope
feel
it's
about
good.
that. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, it's happening, Manny. So you got no choice in the matter, you
Yeah.
know.
He doesn't have to watch it.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely gonna watch it for sure.
Well, yeah, it's easy too. It's around Netflix, right? So you'll see that splash page. There's so much stuff when it's just like this serial, or it's like this documentary about this guy with 26 personalities. Add it to the list, you know. Like Clay, you got your hand up.
I've got a couple random Halloween movie type picks that I'm wondering if people have seen. Travis, I know you're definitely a fan of this one, The Guest.
Oh, I love The Guest with Dan
love it.
Stevens. That
Sounds
I recommend
familiar.
that to everybody. That's what made me fall in love with Dan Stevens, because I
So
was
good.
watching what is Legion, because I love that show. It's the X-Men show on FX. And I'd only seen the first few episodes, and I was like, okay, who is this guy? I'm really liking him. And then I watched The Guest. I was like, damn, that's like it's like not as hardcore, but it feels similar like American Psycho, where he's playing like that duality, and he's like, oh yeah, he's the nice normal guy, but then behind closed doors, like he's messed up. No, that's a really good movie. It's a
It's
solid
kind of
one.
like Halloween, but like if Michael Myers was like a cool dude, and then
and also a
Michael
vet with
Myers.
PTSD as well too.
I'm gonna check it out.
Oh yeah, it's really
Looks
worth
good,
it, and it's
yeah.
only like an hour and a half. Like it's an easy, quick watch.
Best
It's
thing,
simple,
yeah.
but yeah, it's really good. And I can't remember because that director made something else after,
You're
and I did not
Next.
like it. What was it?
You're next.
You're Next. Yeah, and I'm not as big. I gotta watch it again because when I watched the first time, there's so much hype around You're Next, and I was like, it's fine. Like I feel like this might be controversial. I feel like Ready or Not is the better version of You're Next. Yeah, because I feel like You're Not or You're Not.
That's the sequel.
Yeah, that was my dating life in 2010. You're Not It, but like no, like You're Not, like or shit. You're Next is there's just something missing there. But I gotta watch that again. It's pretty much, if people don't know, it's like a bunch of killers go after this girl, but it's the reverse of like this girl's fucking like ready to go, and like it's almost like they're being hunted because she's just so good. So but it's kind of like Ready or Not. So I thought he did something after too that I was after the guest. I wanted it to be better, but
he did the Blair Witch remake.
Yeah, and I liked that a lot. Actually,
I didn't see it.
Oh no, it's better than the original because the original is a shit movie.
Oh,
it's good when you
for
first
its
watch
time,
it.
For its time, it doesn't hold up, but it was great at the time.
Because I remember, Taylor, remember when we tried to do a commentary track of that for GeekVerse? We were doing a watch along like our first year. Do you remember this at all?
Of the Blair Witch? It
was you, because the new movie was coming out. It was you, me, Kyle, Dylan, Jessica, and we started to do it. And then 20 minutes in, we just threw out the episode because we're like, this is not going to be good. So there's like a lost episode somewhere. I don't think it's recorded anymore, but like it was just
it's a lost memory too. I don't have a recollection of this.
We were just like, there's nothing to talk about because there's just so much of like, we're gonna walk in the woods for 30 minutes and just be like, hey, does that branch look weird? I think it does. And then they move on. It's just like, it's definitely like a first time. Like there's some movies that are like that though, right? Like you watch it first, but you'll never get that experience again. That's Blair Witch. Where the second movie or that remake, I feel like actually has like somewhat of like a story or something like that. So
were we like, who else was a part of this episode that we did? Me,
I literally just said Dylan, Jessica, Kyle, and me and you. We watching Dylan's basement.
Can they confirm this, or like were we all passed out and you're the only one awake?
No, yeah, I drugged you all. Like, let's watch Blair Witch, and I invited your mom over. We had some fun. But like, Adam Wingard. Oh, okay, that's why I'm remembering the name because he fucking directed Godzilla vs Kong. That's the movie. Yeah. I thought, I had some hope because like, hey, he directed this. It might be good. And it wasn't, but that's okay.
Can you guys answer a question for me regarding Blair Witch? Because I don't think I've ever seen it start to finish. I think I've just looked up the ending multiple times. Like, do you actually? I used to read. Like, do you see? Like, what's the ending? That last shot. Do you see something?
No.
Like, do you know? Is it just? Okay.
It's all just yells and like camera tricks and stuff like that. You never see anything. So it's just like the idea of like, what is it? You know, the mystery.
I feel like that's what makes the movie so special, though, is that it was so like a found footage, like one of the OGs. Yeah. And then the whole story behind it, they made like the cast go into hiding, so people were like Googling, like, did this really happen?
It's really
so it is a special movie. It might not be a great movie like nowadays, but I think the whole event was what made it super special.
It's almost like if you watch Tommy Wiseau's The Room, it's like it's not a good movie, but like because people have found appreciation for it after the fact, like, oh, this is why it's rewatched so much. I think that's Blair Witch is not the same way, but it is like, yeah, for the time, that's one of the most influential movies ever is Blair Witch. But if you watch it's just like, hey, I want a story to be told here. There's not much. They even do a post-credit scene though of them like in the tent talking. They're like in the tent, like, oh yeah, it's like, oh, it's gonna be a fun trip. Like, yeah, it's like a setup for like everything before it goes bad. So there you go. That's where Feige got it. He was watching Blair Witch. He's like, I'm gonna steal this for my Marvel movies and everything like that. And here's the other movie. This is what I was thinking of, Clay. Adam Wingard directed Death Note on Netflix, and that's where it's like, oof. Like, I don't know what happened after The Guest. He had Your Next in The Guest, so it's like, oh, this hot young upstart. But then he had Blair Witch, which I thought was fine, and then Death Note and Godzilla vs Kong, which I was not a fan of. So I'm surprised. I was expecting better things from him.
He also directed, I don't know if you guys have seen, I think it's the original VHS, but what I think is the scariest part of that, which is the one where they bring the girl home after going out to the bar and it turns out she's a vampire or something. That one
I gotta rewatch them all.
Is that a newer one?
I think it's the original VHS.
Okay.
Yeah, original VHS came out 2012. Yeah, he directed one called Tape 56, which I don't know if that's the one you're referring to, but
maybe I gotta a different one. I don't know.
Well, there's so many of them now. They just put a new one on Shudder, and everyone says that one's fantastic.
Yeah,
so
I want to watch that.
Yeah, I gotta get like I said in the beginning of the cast, I gotta give those another shot because I feel like those were coming at a time where I wasn't a fan of like the Paranormal Activity, like found footage stuff. But now I feel like I'm in more of the mindset of like, okay, I'm gonna try this again. But back then I was like, just not really for me. I can't get it. It's the same way as like after Last Night in Soho. I'm like, I gotta go rewatch everything of Edgar Wright because I feel like I didn't appreciate him as much as I was younger. It is funny that like Baby Driver and Soho, I like have above like so much of the other stuff he does. Like I appreciate his back half so much more. But I was like, I gotta watch these as like an older age and see like do I still the same way. So VHS I want to because there's like I think like and then there's the ABCs of Death that was like another kind of like version of that, but it was not the same. But
what are some of his other movies, Travis, Edgar Wright, besides
Edgar Wright? Like he did Shaun of the Dead, he did Hot Fuzz, he did what is the one we did with Hansi the watch along?
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim, yeah, that's
Okay.
and that one, and see, that's one where I did like a bit better as I rewatched. But I remember the first time I watched it, I was like, just not really for me. It was just I still hate Scott. I don't like that character at all, Scott Pilgrim. Like, he annoys me so much. And on the Michael Cera way, just like he's just not a likable character. Like, I know that's a point, but I don't ever think there's a point where he is likable. You know, so it's just like. But Baby Driver was the first Edgar Wright movie I'd say like I really enjoyed, and like I'll save it for the review. But Last Night in Soho, legitimately at one point, I was like, this might be one of my like top 50 favorite movies of all time. Like and it still might be. I just loved it so much. I can't wait to talk about. But I loved Soho so much. Like, it's just like. Like me and Kirklin were going back and forth about this. Like, I definitely think Dune is the better movie, but as like the Travis isms and the one I might rewatch more, I think is Soho, because it's just like the soundtrack, everything is just oof. But what about Carl? What about you? Because what's your favorite? Because you said you're not watching many.
What's your favorite scary movie? Sydney?
Yeah.
It's a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably between Nightmare on Elm Street and It, the original It.
Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street. I forgot to shout that one out. That's probably honestly one of my favorite scary movies.
I've been scared to have a bath ever since, hence why I smell.
It's smelly from here.
Yeah. So yeah, there's scarier films out there than those, but I think it's just at the time it's the only one I remember that scared me so much.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I feel like when you were talking about those, I thought you hadn't seen Nightmare on Elm Street.
The original?
Yeah.
That was one like me and my sister watched with my dad when we were younger, because my dad loved it when it like originally came out. And that was one where it's like, fuck, I'm not safe if I go to sleep tonight.
Oh yeah. The concept, it's just one of those ideas. Like, when you see a movie and there's a concept, you're just like, fuck, that's good. Like, and like, it's one of those, like, no one can ever really do it again, because it's like they get the stamp on it. And that's a movie I saw with my dad. And then once I realized there was like 6 more, we went to Blockbuster and I rented every single Nightmare on Elm Street. And that's still my favorite horror franchise. I love
the third one has my favorite scene.
With is it the puppeteer
and the fiends? Yeah.
And that's where it stood out. The kills were so much different and everything like that. Like, Johnny Depp has that bed one, but even then I remember like I can't remember the guy who can't talk on Nightmare on Elm Street, when there's like the girl in the water bed and Freddy's like tricking him, and then he turns into like, it was always so creative. And you had that element of like, is this a dream? Is this not? Like, I love Nightmare on Elm Street, and I'm still waiting for it. I'm waiting for somebody to bring that back and just do such a great job with it, because it's just there's still so much, I think, potential for a series like that. And I guess maybe it is also tough. They always had that who could play Freddy again, and I get that it's tough, but there's tons of actors out there that do a good job. You know, like, just because Jack Nicholson killed as a Joker, like, look, we still got a bunch of great Jokers after. So
Travis, I don't know if you remember which. Kirklin, just
all good, man.
Quickly, the Friday the 13th, not Friday, Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know which one it is. The guy has like a problem with his ears, and like it's so humorous to me. Like, Freddy starts like scratching a board, like a little board.
I think that might be Freddy's dead. I think.
But he's just fucking with him. He's like smiling and laughing. It's just so. I was dying when I saw it, but it's so good.
I think that might be Freddy's dead, because I don't remember. That's the one I've seen the least, because that's when they introduced Freddy has a kid, and that's when I'm like, oh, we're getting to this point in the franchise.
Chucky wrote.
Yeah, every time the franchise is like, we're gonna introduce kids or long lost siblings, like, okay, we're off to a bad foot now, you know. It's just but no, there's some great ones in there. Like, there's one where Freddy turns into Super Freddy. He's like a comic book villain and he beats people up.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And there's one where he turns a girl into a bug, and it's just like she's working out and her like limbs like she lifts a weight and her like arms like break while she lifts the weight, and they start turning like bug arms and stuff like that. And Robert Englund's just so good. He chooses the scenery, and especially those later ones, man, he chooses the scenery like no other. He's just having so much fun with it. So
I was gonna shout out just that scene from when that girl's like falling asleep in class, and then she looks over and she just sees her friend like in the body bag, and like that. I think those scenes where like she's kind of dozing, but like she's not clearly falling asleep, and then it just shit starts happening. It's like, oh, she's just fucked now. Like, I think those moments really stuck with me in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I definitely haven't seen all of them. I think I've only seen like the first and possibly the remake.
Or even the way they kill Tina, like the girl in the body bag with she's like Rod wakes up because he's not in the dream. She's just like getting pulled across like the walls and the roof and stuff like that. It's so creative. And when you go back and look at how they shot that, it was actually like super dangerous for the actors because they had a room where they had like multiple crew guys and they would just turn the whole room like before effects and CGI. So they're just turning like this dummy room and they're like shooting it. And she's like on this wall, like could be injured at any point. It's just like, man, the 80s were a fucking dangerous time to be making movies. But like, it's the fact that she didn't get hurt and then how it looks, it's so cool. Just this effect of her like getting pulled up this wall in reverse. And it's just like, man, it's so well done. It's so creative. It's those scenes that like stick with you years later that you still think about.
What's everyone's thoughts on the remake?
Oh, no. That one
good
hurt.
CGI.
No, there's not good CGI.
I've seen it many moons, so it's not
you
really
saw the
meaningful.
Nightmare on Elm Street remake?
I have. I haven't
yeah.
seen it in a long time. I remember the one where he's like coming through the wall.
Yes,
and that's pretty much.
And that
to be
was
honest,
go ahead.
So I was really disappointed by it because I was actually super hyped for it because I liked the guy that they casted for it at the time. I thought from like when he did Watchmen, I was like, I feel like this is a great choice. Like I feel like he looks great in the part, and then the movie was just super disappointing.
Perfect casting. Jackie Earle Haley was like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is fantastic. And if you go back, everybody today watch the trailer, the very first trailer for the remake.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. The trailer is like, man, we're doing it. We're getting a new update Nightmare on Elm Street, new effects, like a really great actor is Freddy. It's happening. And I just remember being so hyped. And then that movie, it was one of those movies after I saw it, I was convincing myself that I really liked it. Like, no, like this was fun. Like, and then once I rewatched it again, it's like, oh no. And that's where you bring up the wall thing. That was the biggest problem where they have that effect, the great effect in the first one. They show it where I recommend, I'm not sure if anyone's seen these. It's called Never Sleep Again and like Camp Crystal Lake. This company did a documentary on the Friday the 13th series, the Nightmare on Elm Street series, and the movies are both like legitimately 8 to 9 hours long. And because they go through each movie and each of them get like 45 minutes to an hour, and they show all the effects and everything like that. And they show how they had like some plaster made and like the specific type of carpet and wall made, so like the actor could like put his head through the spandex hole to make it look like he's through the wall, and like Freddy's looking around. And then when you have it in the remake, it's just CGI and it looks bad. And that's where it's like, that was probably in the height, because that's 2010. That was in the height of like, oh, we could just CG, like we just use effects. And I think that really hurt in the idea that it could have been cool. They went like George Lucas with the prequels. They just went ham, like, oh, well, Freddy's gonna do this and do this. But the story alone is not that good either, too, because it's in that weird like, it's a remake, but it's kind of a reboot, but not like it follows the exact same movie, but we're doing things differently. And I remember too, they had this weird plot line where they should have just committed the same way Rob Zombie did with Michael. The whole movie, like the movie's what, hour and a half, probably for like hour 20, they like play up like, oh, Freddy actually was innocent and his film, like the people killed him accidentally. That's why he's come back to get you. And then last 10 minutes, like, no, he actually still was a pedophile and killer. He deserved it. It's like, so why do we spend all this time trying to make us feel bad for Freddy? And then the twist is, no, he actually is still a really shit guy. And it's like, well, why did you do that? Like they should have went with the route that he was innocent, and then it would have been like, oh, this does make sense why he's coming after you all, because you guys took the law in your hands and you murdered this innocent janitor, and now he's just pissed. But then when it's just like, oh, they find the pictures, and it's like, oh, and don't forget Rooney Mara's in that movie. She plays Nancy before she was like Rooney Mara. Before her big breakout with Girl Dragon Tattoo, she was in that, and it's Katie Cassidy was in it as well. So yeah, not. I'm waiting for another remake, Maddie. I'll say that. I'm waiting for. My dream would be like an Ari Aster to get it, and I know it'd be like a really art house Nightmare on Elm Street, but I want something kind of like that. You know, I think Robert Eggers' Lighthouse would be too much, because I think he would take it in a really like the Lighthouse version of Nightmare on Elm Street might be too weird, but. Ari Aster, I know Elijah Wood's been talking about it too. He said he's tried a few times. I actually would be down for that because I've liked some of his stuff. So. Yeah, it's one.
It's only
day.
a matter of time.
Happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. Well, the only reason like Michael happened, and the only reason Jason didn't happen is just because the legal things. They were supposed to make another movie, and then this one though was supposed to be about like Jason's dad or something like that. So I'm maybe happy it didn't happen. It was something like his origin story, and he was a bad dude and stuff like that. So probably a good idea it didn't happen. But
has anyone seen Creep?
A long time, a while back ago, yeah.
I like Creep.
Taylor, have you seen Creep? I think you had seen it, no?
Creep, was that with the there were two
Mark
of
Duplass?
them. That was with the
Yeah, there was two of them. Yeah, exactly.
I have seen it. That we had a friend come over and stay with us, and she just suggested we watch it. We put it on, and that blew my mind.
That was
It was
creepy,
freaky.
man. Yeah,
and the ending caught me off guard too.
Yeah. Clay, you saw both also?
I've only seen the first one. I heard the second one's really good though.
It actually is. Yeah, they were both really cool. Honestly, Travis, you have to check them out.
Well, I've seen the first one a while back, but I gotta watch it again because I feel like for some reason I watched when I was like sick or something. I feel like I half remember. And yeah, 2 I never got around to. I remember Taylor saying he watched, and I was surprised that you liked it because I thought it might not be a movie that you'd be up your alley and stuff like that. But
it's unique. It's unique.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That reminds me of a couple movies. That Mark, is it Mark Duplass or Jay
Mark
Duplass?
Yeah.
Well, him and his brother, they direct a bunch of movies, and they directed this one called Cyrus with John C. Reilly and Jonah Hill that I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, I never saw it.
It looked good.
Yeah, it was really, really, really weird, but super funny.
Because wasn't like the gimmick is he's dating his mom, and there's like a lot of tension there and stuff like that.
It's Marissa Tomei.
Yeah.
So that one was really good. And then if you like all the dream stuff in Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm not a big Nightmare on Elm Street guy, but there's this one movie from the 80s that's like all about taking mushrooms and going into dreams and shit. It's crazy. And it's called Altered States. Has anyone seen that?
No, I've never heard of this.
It's super cool. It's William Hurt, the guy who's
really
General Ross in Marvel. He like researches these Native American mushrooms and starts taking them to try to like go back in time and shit. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie.
Sounds
the poster already. It's just like this dude. He's literally just like drugged out here and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's an awesome William Hurt performance. It's a fun one.
Drew Barrymore's in it as well too. Look at that.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, no, it's so funny because I was talking about that with Emily a couple weeks ago. When now with like Netflix and Prime and everything like that, when you like just scroll through, there's so many times where you see a movie poster like I never even knew this existed. Like there's like I didn't even know I can't remember the actual title of the movie, but when we first got HBO Max, there was some movie with David Schwimmer with Gwyneth Paltrow. I can't remember what it is, but it's like a person dies. Apparently, it's almost like Dear Evan Hansen. He dies and like leaves a bunch of notes to David Schwimmer's character, but he's never met him and stuff. So he kind of uses to his advantage, and he's like a shitty guy. But it's like it's them two, and it's a few other actors, and same thing. I just watch it because like the plot synopsis sound funny, but it's like there's so many movies. Like, do we think we have content now, still from like the 70s? Now there's just stuff where it's like that Altered States, never knew existed, never knew. And I know William Hurt, not even like any at this point, no one in my life has even mentioned this movie, and it's just so funny. Like, just if you could just look at people's filmography and just like, there's so much stuff that just is out there and you've never seen, and it's just it's weird because I feel like so many times you think of like Nicolas Cage, like, oh, I know everything he's in, and there's still stuff where I see it's like, oh, he did this, like, and not his like recent like straight to DVD stuff, just like right, like this is just something he did back then before. It's just it's crazy. People they're working hard, which is good. In retirement, lots of movies to watch, you know.
I still ride for Willy's Wonderland. It was good.
Really?
Oh
yeah. On Netflix now, Taylor. If
I bought it.
Watch it. Oh wow.
Nice.
Anything to shout here as we close out? We got 2 minutes here. I got swimming lessons to get to. I can't wait.
Me and April, I want to check if you finished watching Evil yet. Yeah, it was really good. To catch up.
Yeah.
Did you watch it yet?
Me? No. I'm so behind on actual shows. It's because I'm doing the Dexter retro. That's why. It's like I'm watching all those again, which is kind of not a bummer, but like it took away from some of my Halloween
That's a bummer.
stuff.
It's okay.
Well, no, but I mean like
yeah.
Because I was watching like less Halloween stuff, but this weekend I'm gonna try to watch some Goosebumps. I remember the movie I was talking about when you were talking about like Hellfest, Maddie. The movie's called Haunt. It's like a very similar type of movie. It came out in 2018. It was a movie they like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like it's supposed to come out and they just put out because of the pandemic. Like, oh, here, have this, and I think it went to some POV, but it's very similar where they find like just a random like building and it's like, oh, it's a haunted maze, but it's actually like fucked up people in there. That's a movie I've said to Taylor every time. I'm like, we're making that movie one day, because every time we do the Halloween maze, I'm like, we're gonna do that movie one day. Yeah, there's already been a few, but it's like, we'll do one of our own.
Best thing. Yeah. How was it good? You would recommend watching it?
I wouldn't say it's a guilty pleasure, like it's bad. I'd say like if you like that concept, give it. It'd probably be similar to Hellfest, where I feel like it's less like comedic, but there's some fun stuff in there, you know. But it's nothing. I wouldn't say like if you were to skip it, like, oh, you're really missing out, you know. Like it's one of those like, oh yeah, and maybe it's like you don't have to seek it out, but if it's on a streaming service and you see it and you have nothing else to watch on the Halloween ones, I'd recommend that enough if you liked Hellfest. So.
Cool.
All right, well, we'll end it there. This was a fun one. It was good to Clay. It was good to welcome you back and whatnot. Hopefully, be on the next one. But if not, like I said, we'll be switching back and forth between mornings and nights and stuff like that again. So, everyone have a safe Halloween if you're doing anything and stuff like that. And good know. And then, well, I was gonna say next time we see you guys, we'll probably talk about Eternals. But apparently, almost everyone's skipping it. So we'll talk about it at the end of the year and stuff like that. I want to talk about that, but it is surprising. And you guys aren't alone. There's so many people that have been like, oh yeah, I think I'll skip this one. So. But we'll see. So
get your Halloween costumes in the Discord if you dress up.
Yeah, just quickly, I want to ask before we go, everyone with kids here. I don't have kids, but everyone with kids. So what's everyone dressing up as?
I'm going as a character from Squid Game.
Nice. And your kids?
Same thing.
My son's going as the character from Squid Game. And my daughter's just a witch.
Okay, sick. Okay, yeah, nice. What about everyone else?
Liam and I are going as Padme and Luke Skywalker.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, nice. Yeah. We're doing WandaVision. So I'm Vision, but we're doing like the Halloween costumes, like the tacky ones. So I'm doing Vision, she's doing Wanda. And then Logan's going as Wolverine, she has that. And then my daughter Gwen is going as Captain Carter. That was her pick. At one point she was being someone else, but once she saw What If, it was over. She's like, oh, I gotta be Captain Carter. So like Emily, she did such a good job. She bought a Captain America costume and then like fashioned it and did some stuff to make it look like Captain Carter. It looks great. And then the baby's going as Thanos, because it's just like a purple outfit and it's a toque and she has like gloves, and one of the glove is like the Infinity Gauntlet. So
you missed an opportunity. You could have been like Punisher Ghost Rider with baby Thanos. That would have been so sick.
Because Cosmic Ghost Rider is something I have the budget for right now to do that costume where it's like Ghost Rider with space stuff.
Red Hulk version too.
Yeah,
you should have plenty of money with all the child maintenance I'm paying you.
Oh yeah. not Cosmic Ghost Rider level, but you know. Is anyone else doing Halloween stuff, dressing up, or just staying in?
I did Kurt Russell from Big Trouble in Little China last night. And then this weekend, like the bar I work at, we have a lot of live music, so we're doing like haunted concert hall, and a bunch of us are doing we're dressing up as Kiss. So I'll send you guys a picture of that. It should be
nice.
Yeah, you're gonna do full makeup and everything like that?
Even the Kurt Russell, I want to see. Send us a pic.
Yeah, I'll get you guys a picture of
that. Yeah.
And then a couple of nudes while you're at it there. Just
sure, Carl.
Just for me.
No problem. Yeah, I'll give you the Kurt Russell nudes.
Well, this was a fun one. Again, everyone have a good weekend and whatnot, and then we'll talk to you in November and everything. So thanks everyone for coming and supporting us as always. Appreciate it.
Happy Halloween. Nice to see everyone.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.